Let's go, chat. Let's go, let's go, let's go.
I'll send that prompt to all 12 agents. All 12 agents prompt.
What's up, chat? What's up, chat? All right, what's up, guys? We're back. We are cooking up in the lab today. It's good to be back. What's up, the Gato? What's up, Blackwell? What's up, the Jumper? What's up, Chat U? What's up, Navo? How's it going, guys? It's good to be back. I am streaming from a new laboratory today. You guys can go check it out. Look at that. Look at us. This is the new lab. Take a look around, chat. We got Big T with us today. Let's go. All right. Let's take a seat and let's lock in. All right, let's turn on music a little bit. All right, give me 1 second here, chat. All right. How's it going, everybody? What's up? All right, so if you guys didn't know, I'm going to pause the music real quick, but welcome back. So I did just purchase a MacBook M5 Max, and I'm doing a little bit of traveling right now. I'm staying in an Airbnb, and right now, if you guys look around, this is the new lab. We're basically in a gym right now. We got Big T right behind us. Big T, he's hanging out. He's chilling. He's been a good boy. But we're grinding. I actually don't think, is this screen not working? Okay, it looks like this one's not working. That's fine, though. But how's it going, guys? So I do have a new M5 Max. That's the machine that we're currently on here. I'm about to show this to you guys. Check this out. So this machine here is new. Bear with me as I'm just dealing with a little bit of a new stream setup. But check this out. So I am running Ollama right now on an M5 Max. You guys can see that I'm running Qwen 3.6 35B. It's taking up 29.92 gigabytes on this machine. I just put out a review video a little bit ago, and you know it's very interesting. You know, it's got 128 gigabytes of unified memory, and I've got to say this actually, in my opinion, is a little bit better than the DGX Spark that you see down there. It's currently not plugged in. But I do think that the MacBooks are actually an incredible, like, especially if you look at it and you're like, okay, a DGX Spark costs $5,000. A MacBook M5 Max with fully maxed out specs also costs $5,000. And then to see what you're able to do with it, it's actually quite impressive. So bear with me a little bit with the stream setup today. It's a little bit different for me. Somebody said, did my girlfriend claim the studio? She is not. I'm just doing a little bit of traveling. Juan Duck, how's it going? Descend just said he just finished watching the latest video. Why 720? Yeah, the quality of the stream will probably be a little bit lower because I am traveling right now. So honestly, you know, you guys can see we're in a private gym right now. I'm out in the middle of nowhere, so it may be a little bit lower quality, but at least we're streaming. I'll be back to the office here shortly. But yeah, so look at this. We got a lot to do today. There's a lot of bugs that we're going to punch out, but I do want to test this for you guys. Hold on. Let's switch this up a little bit. All right, this should be good. Let me know if the volume's good. The stream setup is a little bit different. I've never streamed from this machine before, so it's a little bit different, but let me know what you guys think. Just let me know in the chat if we're good or not. But let's go pull up this here, and I want to show you guys how the Mac is able to function. So let's pull up BridgeSpace here. I'm going to use this in OpenCode, and this morning I did test this out. Let's just expand this one. So this is running Qwen 3.6 35B, okay? And this honestly is probably the best local model that I've used. Let's go. But let me know what you guys use. Stain said quality isn't bad. Okay, thank you. But yeah, we're doing a little bit of traveling. It's definitely needed. But check this out. So this is Qwen 3.6, and I have it running in OpenCode right now. If you guys look closely, let's just zoom in a little bit in BridgeSpace. You guys can see Qwen 3.6 35B. Now, I did try out previously. I loaded 3 Frontier local models onto the machine. I loaded Gemma 431B. I loaded Qwen 3.6 27B, and then I also loaded this model, and I was running them all at the same time. And it's actually like very slow, but when you actually use it just with this, for example, watch this. So let's just pull this up and I'm going to show you guys. We're actually going to see if we can build something real quick with this. What I want to do here is hold on, let's just do a preset real quick. I'm going to launch, or hold on, I don't have any of the presets set up. Hold on, so this is BridgeBase. This is how you set up a preset in BridgeBase. Qwen 3.7 will release soon. Yeah, I think that by far Qwen 3.6 35B is the best. By far, that is the best model. I have not used another model that was as good as this one. Let's just call this one BridgeMind Dev, because it is a new machine, so I'm just kind of getting used to it. Let's do 4 sessions here, and then let's just do, we'll CD into desktop, CD into BridgeMind, and then let's go next. And then we're going to launch, actually no coding agents. We're just going to save this preset because I just want 4 agents that are going to launch in this directory. Skip the agents. All right. The camera, yeah. I mean, guys, I'll give it my best. I am like on the go right now. But okay, let's go over here. So we're gonna CD into BridgeMind UI, and we're gonna test if 3.6 can actually build a feature real quick. So let's launch the dev server real quick, and then let's check this out. So let's go into localhost 3000 here, and we'll see like how good is this. And I don't know if you guys watched my video this morning, but I'm out in like the middle of the country, right? Like no Wi-Fi. I got a Starlink, no cell service, and I was just on a dock. And this is in my latest video. If you guys haven't seen it, go watch it, because I'm out in the middle of this dock, right? No cell service, no anything, and I'm vibe coding with local models on my MacBook. It's insane. You should have saved presets on cloud. No, yeah, the presets on cloud. I mean, I don't know. I don't think that presets out in cloud because your machines are going to be different. Okay, so BridgeMind UI. Let's give it a prompt here. I need you to do an in-depth review of this project and how it is currently storing the subscriber count. I think it's possible for us to, instead of hard coding this, to actually just fetch it from the YouTube API. Would you review the code associated with this and create a helper function that is just able to make a quick call to how many total subscribers that BridgeMind actively has? Do a complete review first and create a structured plan before updating any code. So this is actually like a feature here. I haven't tried like complicated features like this, but this is just a feature where if you guys look here, do you see how it says 76,000 subscribers? I just want to see if it would actually be able to, I mean, look at how fast Qwen 3.6 35B is. And the machine may lag out a little bit. Let me know if it is in the chat. Hold on, let me look at the chat right now. So this stream is performance test for local models. No, we're going to be grinding today. We're going to be grinding. I'm showing you guys the local models right now. Qwen 3.6 35B is definitely the best that I've tried. I mean, look at how fast it's going. It's thinking for less than a second, and then it's already found like where that code is associated. How is Starlink doing for you? It's so-so. The issue with Starlink is that there were some trees out here, and maybe I'll show you guys around a little bit, but there were like some trees, right? And the trees, it said, hey, you're gonna drop like every hour. Your connection is gonna drop. And I was like, every hour? Like that seems like crazy to me. That it would drop for 10 seconds every hour. I use S3 Bucket to host my website, so I get $1 for my website monthly. That's pretty affordable. $1 is not bad at all. How does Starlink work? Yeah, so basically you just put it out in like an opening. I mean, guys, look at how fast this is. So this is a local model that's running on the MacBook, and it already has a plan for us. So before I write a plan, a few questions. And did it ask the questions? I don't see the questions. It said that it's done. So it literally found all of this, and hold on, can we just tab it to plan mode? I want you to create the structured plan. I need you to review the code base, and you decide based off of best practices how to build it. So we're just going to have it build it. But yeah, I mean, this is Qwen 3.6 35B, and it is very fast. Now, when you do load on additional models, it does look a little bit different. You guys can see that we're at 73 gigabytes on the machine. Now, remember, I have Bridge Space open. I have a bunch of terminals, and then I'm also have the model loaded onto the GPU, and I'm running the model. So, I mean, that's pretty substantial. Did you use the M4? I actually never had an M4. Or no, I do have an M4 Max. Yeah, I have an M4 Max, and I did upgrade to the M5 Max. Local models, yeah, local models don't cost you money. If you guys were wondering, local models don't cost you money. But one thing that I was talking about in my latest video, go watch it if you haven't already. But the most interesting part about this is that if you do go to like artificial analysis, I think this is very, very interesting. Let me show this to you guys real quick. So go to artificial analysis, and if we go down here, I was showing this in my most recent video. And if you guys didn't know this, if we just put in GPT-5 here, this is how good local models actually are now. If you look at this, you can see that, yeah, look at that. GPT-5 scores a 36 on this coding index, okay? GPT 5.5 scores a 59.1. But Gemma 431B and Qwen 3.6 27B score higher than GPT-5. And GPT-5 was obviously the frontier coding model just like 9 months ago. So we now have models that are 27 billion parameters, 31 billion parameters that are running locally on our machine that are literally better than the frontier just 9 months ago. So it's very impressive. Now that does change where, for example, this Gemma 431B, when it was indexed, when it was tested on artificial analysis, they were obviously using like Google infrastructure. So what I found is that Gemma 431B, it actually runs fairly slow on this machine. And then sometimes the models can be a little bit inefficient. So look at this. Okay, let me ask you one more for you. Let me see how animated counter works so I can, so is this even working still? I'm gonna prompt it to continue. It looked like it just stopped. So what I see is that, like, yeah, it could be a little bit inconsistent and unreliable. There are many reasons to use local models, but pricing is not one of them. Yeah, a lot of people, there's like, I think that like freedom, the ability to know that, hey, you're not going to get, you know, rate limited, but then you see stuff like this and it's like, yes, even though this is technically better than GPT-5 9 months ago, GPT-5 was able to run more reliably, in my opinion. I think that it was able to run more efficiently than this model, to be completely honest. Local models are A55. Only reason you will use local models is because some of them are obliterated. What do you mean? Would you ever just use local models? What are the ups compared to using normal server-based models? Yeah, I mean, like, obviously, you guys are not going to see me using a bunch of local models to be able to, like, code BridgeMind, okay? And, like, I think that you can even see it right now, whereas, like, okay, Qwen 3.6 right here, right? I'm putting it through an actual production code base. It's processed 57,000 tokens, and it's not great, okay? It's, like, it's good, but it's not great. And I think that, like, it's not reliable enough. And when I was testing this, like, my computer's heating up. It's like puts a bunch of stress on it. But, you know, it's like you go over here and it's like, okay, why would you not just use like Codex, right? Because Codex, I can launch a bunch of sub agents that's running on a data center. Whereas like with local models, it's just completely different, right? Like this is literally running on my machine. Yes, I can go over to the dock and I can use Qwen 3.635B from the dock with no Wi-Fi. I do think that that's pretty cool. But at the end of the day, are you going to actually use that if you're building a SaaS? Probably not. You know, BridgeMind is at 185K ARR. Are you going to use that reliably to like fix bugs and stuff? Probably not, to be honest with you guys. Code said, love you what you are doing here. Great job. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. So let's go over here, and I do want to actually start knocking out some issues in BridgeSpace. I have been traveling a little bit, so let's actually start to knock some of these things back out. This one was fixed. We can close this. But let's take a look at some of the bugs that we're getting in BridgeMind and start to knock them out with Claude Code. Okay, hold on here. Okay, so this person, he had an issue. We fixed it. Let's close this. Let's go back over here and just go to the main thread. Okay, pasting screenshots in BridgeMind seems to have stopped working the last few days. Okay, this is definitely the first issue that I want to take care of. So this is one that, can I minimize this? Hold on. How do I minimize this and comment? The Mac is definitely a little bit, I'm getting used to it for sure. Dev Mindset, what's up? How's it going? Also, shout out to Mute the App. Thank you, man. An obliterated AI model is a large language model with its safety filters mathematically removed to prevent it from refusing any user input. Okay, gotcha. Yeah. So that basically means that, like, you know, there's certain things where, for example, this actually would be a very interesting example. So the other day I was trying to get my Hermes agent to send me like the API keys. Because I needed to clone that Hermes agent, and I was like, hey, send me the EMV file, right? And it was refusing to do that. It was like, I can't send that. I can't send it. I can't send it. And the thing is that you would be able to do that if you were using a local model, because the local models, because it's private, because it's local, it doesn't have those same protection mechanisms that a GPT 5.5 would. You know, you're not sending your data to the cloud, so you don't have to worry about that. So that would be one area where it would be nice to use a local model. What version is BridgeSpace on? Let me check the version real quick. Is there a way to find an app idea? Yeah, there is. So with just finding app ideas, I think it's very important that you're able to survey the market. And first of all, you have to be passionate about what you're building and be able to do it long term. And then second of all, you want to make sure that it's an idea that has a market that you can easily market to. So for example, if I tried to sell, and I've even have tried this, if I tried to build a clipping agent and then go out and see okay, I'm going to build a clipping agent and I'm going to see how many people are interested in a clipping agent. Not that many people that are in the BridgeMind community would be interested in using a clipping agent. That would be marketed towards clippers and streamers. And what I've seen is that it really, you have a hard time marketing things if you don't have the correct fit. So you want to make sure that you do have that fit. And you also want to make sure that you do have a passion for what you're doing. That's very, very important. Okay, let's drop this in. So we're going to drop these 2 screenshots in. I need you to do an in-depth review of this bug report and note that it was fixed and now it's broken again. Launch 5 sub-agents and do a complete deep dive on all of the functionality associated with this and pinpoint and diagnose the cause of this bug. Note that this is happening on Windows. Do a complete deep dive and come back to me with your analysis. Make sure that you find the smoking gun and in 1 sentence describe to me what the bug is and output a structured plan of how to fix it efficiently without breaking existing functionality. Okay, so I'm going to do this and then we're also going to put an ultra think on this, and that's going to be our first prompt of today. Let's go, and I'm just going to let that guy know that we are working on it right now, working on this right now. All right, chat. Band Front, how's it going, man? Good to see you. What's up? What's up? What's up? How do you deal with anti-AI gatekeepers? What do you mean by that? Which Whisper model does Bridge Voice use? It uses it's been, hold on, it's there's local models and there's cloud models. For cloud it uses v3 turbo, and then for local it uses just local whisper.cpp models. All right, clicking most recent use doesn't use custom. For my use case, I have a custom SSH command. It works well enough for connecting to remote, but after using it once, it does display on most recent, but clicking that does not execute custom command. Also, feature request, custom sub commands. After SSH, I want to send another command to launch my harness. Third feature request, install Bridge MCP on those remote SSH instances. Okay, so this is from MindDragon. Shout out to MindDragon. I'm going to let him know that we're working on this. Working on this now, and then let's start punching this out. Also, shout out to everybody that's watching over on Twitch right now. Appreciate you guys. I have been doing some traveling, and I think it's good to get out. I think one reason of hey, being able to do what we're doing, it's just freedom is definitely a big thing for me, and freedom to be able to it's even stuff where if I have the freedom to be able to travel, the freedom to be able to do things, and I think that getting this MacBook has been incredibly freeing for me because, hey, now I can travel. I don't have to take my massive setup wherever I go. It's very, very freeing. When is the go live for Vibecademy? I'm going to push it out a little bit. I think that I don't want to rush that. I want to do it right. I think it's better to do something right than rush it, because I think that that's going to be a pretty big launch for us. All right, let's do Bridge-based Tari. I need you to launch 10 deep dive agents and do a complete deep dive on this user's feature requests and his bug reports, and identify what would need to be updated to fix the bugs that he's reported, as well as build the features that he's requested without breaking any existing functionality or interfering with other working functionality. Launch these 10 deep dive agents and come back to me with a structured plan. All right, so we are going to do an ultra think on this one. It's going to launch 10 deep dive agents, and these are Claude Code agents, by the way. What do I do for marketing? So I'll even show you, for marketing, I think that it's incredibly important that if you do want to market a product, you have to get on X. You have to start sharing what you're building. But most of the time, if you guys look at my X, for example, I'm not really marketing BridgeMind on X, and I'm gonna talk to you guys a little bit about that strategy. I think it's better to just become an authoritative voice in a particular niche, and then you'll be able to market your product naturally. I think a lot of people go into it and they'll be I'm marketing, and they'll just they'll post garbage content about their product that nobody wants to hear, because nobody really cares about your product in the grand scheme of things. Unless you're Anthropic, where you have an entire fan base, basically, people don't want to hear about your product, right? You're looking at it and you're okay, I want to get more users on my product. How do you do it? Well, look at what I do. I'm making posts about buying a MacBook M5 Max, and look at this, they got 135 hits. This one's information about DeepSeek V4 Pro and how it performed on BridgeBench. This one is about Claude Mythos and that it's coming and that it's closer than anyone thinks. This one is about my DJX Sparks. And then eventually I do post some content about BridgeMind, but I don't lead with it with like, oh, I just want to make money and profit. I just want to build an audience. I want to build a community. I want to build people that are interested in the same thing that I am. And once you do that naturally, I think that, you know, you'll be able to do a good job. Let's bust out a 50 bomb real quick, chat. Hold on, let's hit a 50 bomb. All right, let's go. Let's go. All right, Blackwell said thank you for the valuable advice. Thank you, man. Yeah, I'm just trying to help you guys. Okay. All right, let's check this out. So this is actually an interesting issue that maybe we could brainstorm a little bit about. There's a lot of work that we need to do with Linux and getting Linux support. Do you have a deep dive skill folder that you could share? I don't. A deep dive, you don't necessarily need to have a skill for it. Okay, look at this bug. So this is another one. All right, copy failed. Do you guys see this one? So this one, I'm running BridgeMind on Windows 11 using WSL Ubuntu terminals for developing. And notice when I drag and drop files into a terminal, it will show the animation on hover, but then won't do anything else. Is there anything I should do? Okay. So let's grab this. Also, thank you to Mute the App. Let's go over, and I do want to use Codex for this one. I think Codex will be able to do a better job. Okay, when did you launch BridgeMind? I think technically BridgeMind was officially launched in maybe March. So it's been 2 months. Kerr, what's up? How's it going? Isn't Vibecademy? No, yeah. I don't see it. Like, I look at Vibecademy and I'm like, first of all, Vibecademy is not my highest priority right now. Even when I was, maybe it was like a year and a half ago, I actually found a video, like, I initially started and I wanted to be able to create an academy similar to Codecademy, but for vibe coding, because I saw how things were changing and I wanted to create that. So, like, if I just wanted to make money off of a course, well, I would just create a school course and I would make a ton of money super fast. But instead, I've gone through the effort of trying to build a platform similar to Codecademy, but for vibe coding. Now, honestly, it's not really my main focus, and I'm much more passionate about building out Bridge Space, building out Bridge Voice. And that's why you guys see me working on this all the time. The image copy paste from Windows to WSL doesn't work natively. Okay, yeah, that's what I'm seeing as well, LV. What do you think of Terax? I don't know what that is. Okay, let's drop in Bridge Space, Tari, and can I paste this in? Okay. I need you to launch 5 deep dive agents and do an in-depth review of the image as well as the bug reports and identify what is still causing this bug. I thought we had fixed it, but it turns out that it is still not fixed. We need to get this fixed, do a complete deep dive, and create a structured plan to integrate the fix. But first, you actually have to identify what is causing this bug. Find the root cause and tell me a quick summary in 1 to 2 sentences of what is causing the bug, and then give me a structured plan of how to fix it without breaking existing functionality. Okay, there we go. Rue said, maybe it's not worth it. How many users do you think you will get when you publish Linux BridgeMind? Maybe 10 to 20. Is it worth putting any effort into it? Well, we technically do have Linux already. We don't have great support for Linux, and we're trying to get better support for that. It's definitely the hardest. Like, Mac is probably the easiest, like, especially since I'm developing on Mac, I'm able to do so much QA on a Mac, whereas when I don't have a Mac, when I'm you know, have to test on a Windows, I have to use the Windows app. It's a little bit more challenging, and you know, it is what it is. Now I do want to show you guys the progress that we've made on Bridge here. It's absolutely incredible what we've been able to accomplish. I want to show that to you guys here in a second. Okay, great work. I now need you to create the structured implementation plan for the fix, and then I am going to do, it's a little bit different on this machine. I'm getting used to it, guys. Shift tab. Okay, plan mode. Okay, there we go. Here's plan mode. All right, I'm just going to do the same exact one here. Turned on plan mode. Okay, boom. There we go. Plan mode. Okay, Philco said, seriously, this is not the way. Just copying and throwing to AI. No offense. If you have to look into prompt engineering, you will do wonders. All are temporary fixes, not permanent. No, so I disagree with you. For most of these bugs, I think that AI is actually to the point where if you can provide the context of, for example, a bug or an issue, and then you can like, and that's the great thing about, you know, people that are reporting bugs and stuff, is that I can go over the Discord here and I can, for example, go grab this one here, still getting these errors, and I can just copy all of this, right? I can copy all of this, and then I can go over here, I can take a screenshot of this right here, and then I can go over here and I can paste all of this into Bridge Space, and then I can say, I need you to launch 10 deep dive agents to do a complete in-depth review of the bug report that you are seeing here and review the image that has also been submitted. I need you to launch these deep dive agents and figure out exactly what is causing the bug and give me a 1 to 2 sentence summary of what the bug is, and then give me a structured implementation plan of what needs to be fixed to fix this bug, what code needs to be updated to fix this bug. And then I'll just submit this, and it has all of that context. So it has all the context of our issue, and it is able to do a relatively good job. How many Linux users do you have? We do have like less than like 5. We don't have a ton of Linux users. So yeah, I mean, I think that it is like, to some extent it is, you could say, hey, is that worth it to spend your time on that? Not sure. Okay, the Gato said, you can make it even better. Tell the agent to connect to Discord API and automatically fix. Yeah, so that's actually a really good point. So I do have one of my Hermes agents that does have the context. Now I am working on that Hermes agent setup a little bit, especially with me traveling. I'm a little bit out of my normal routine, but one of my Hermes agents, literally what I have it doing is it is connected to the Discord, and whenever somebody posts like a bug inside of the support channels, it's actually able to send a message to the agent that has access to the code base, and it's able to actually update code and then make PRs based off of what was reported. So it's actually incredible. Why are you doing this manually? Just make Claude Code. Yeah, a lot of people are saying just automate it. Yeah, so I do have the automation, but you know, I think that honestly, like, sometimes the Hermes agents aren't as good as like for example, having that flow where I'm like, hey, launch 5 deep dive agents, go find what is causing the bug, and then create a structured implementation plan, and then create like a robust implementation plan, and then update it. Like, that flow to be able to do it is sometimes a lot more reliable than if I was just like kind of just throwing it out there and saying, hey, my Hermes agent's just going to automatically fix it. I find that I get better results when I actually do it myself. All right, let's see here. Would you trust such automations? Yeah, so, right? Like, if something happened where it literally broke the code, I don't think that would be good. I'm going to let these guys know, working on this now. Also, shout out to Philly626. He's like super helpful. Thank you so much, man. Is that working? Because why are you manually asking for fixes? I kind of just explained that, Peter, because I think that you can get better results. I don't trust my Hermes agents as much to be able to automatically do that. Okay, microphone remains active constantly. Okay, let's figure out this. All right. I don't know if that's true. Microphone remains active. Let's see if this is true. I need you to launch 3 deep dive agents and identify if this bug report is actually true. Would you do an in-depth review and identify if this is accurate and happening, and then answer and output yes or no? How much do you pay for AI per month? I spend about $600 a month. All right. Because AI cannot be trusted 100% and break stuff So it needs to be manually verified. Yeah, that is true. So like it is always helpful to be able to, make changes and then be able to verify it and, try to just like do a little bit of QA before you push anything. And honestly, like you need to be doing QA, guys. You need to be doing QA for sure. Also in Bridge Voice, did you see the thing to hide it when you're not using it? I think I did. Wait, hold on. Let's go back over there and see. Hold on. Pill widget box, add an option to copy transcription to clipboard. Okay, so this person said, another small option that would be awesome, being able to send the transcription directly to the clipboard instead of automatically inserting it into the focus text input. Sometimes I don't want the text to be pasted immediately, so I want to decide where to have it. Having a copy to clipboard mode would make the app a lot more flexible. By default, the option could stay disabled, so the current behavior wouldn't change anything for existing users, but if enabled, the app would copy the transcription to the clipboard instead. That's a pretty good point here. That actually would be nice. Okay, Philco said, could you provide this prompt? Could you please let me know if this is a permanent fix or a temporary patch? Because I'm wondering how it's working like this, and you are pushing to prod. I mean, I think that if you do go through that flow of being able to make sure that, like, prompting things like, hey, make sure that your changes don't break existing functionality. Those are fixes. Those are things that you should be including in your prompts that are going to help you get better results. Hold on, let's submit this one, and I'm gonna add Bridge Voice here. I need you to launch 3 deep dive agents and review this feature request, and note that this would be a nice feature. Right now, by default, Bridge Voice does just input the copied text into whatever input the user is in, which is good, but it actually would be good to add a little bit better flexibility for this for users so that they could update this in settings, whether or not they wanted it to paste automatically into the input that they are in, have it copied to their clipboard, or both. This would be nice. So we would have 3 options. The options would be, number 1, just input the text directly into whatever input that they are in. Number 2, just copy the text into their clipboard, or number 3, do both. This would be really, really nice for users. Launch 3 deep dive agents and think through how we could implement this without breaking existing functionality. Okay, let's see here. Did you make any guide or setup video? I did. I have been doing some traveling, so things are just a little bit more chaotic for me lately. Do you think GPT 5.5 can do complex tasks yet? Yes, I do think it can be complex tasks. So right now, reverse engineering a video codex at 400 hours on 5 goals, or do we need to wait for GPT-6? I mean, I think that GPT-6 is going to be a lot better. You do notice, like, I mean, if we go over to artificial analysis right now, you can look at it like this. I mean, I was actually surprised because I was looking at this morning while I was making that video about, using local models on the M5 Max, and it's like, this is the world that we're living in. So 9 months ago, GPT-5, which is the frontier coding model, was at 36. Okay, this was how good the frontier was 9 months ago. It scored a 36 on this benchmark. Now it scores a 59.1, which I think does go to show you, like, these models have significantly improved. Like, even if you look at Opus 4.5, which was obviously an incredible model, we're looking at 47.8 to 52.5 from Opus 4.5 to Opus 4.7. Now, you could make the claim that, like, hey, if you look at Opus 4.6, look at this. Man, that's crazy, actually. That's actually surprising. 48.1 to 52.5. That's actually a little bit surprising, to be honest with you guys. Your cam is so shaky. Mac has a built-in stabilizer turned on. Well, I am using a Logitech. You guys will just have to bear with me a little bit today since I'm traveling. I could have chosen not to stream, but I decided to stream. I've got the M5 Max, so just bear with me a little bit. Sorry about the camera. Okay. You should make a more structured bug report system where AI analyzes the problem and ranking so you can work on the most important bugs rather than just going one by one, don't you think? Yeah, I would agree with you. So another thing to look at is the intelligence index. So again, GPT-5, and what was the frontier from Claude around that time? I think it was Claude 4, right? Like, it was Opus 4, right? I'm pretty sure that was the, hold on, let's look at Opus. Oh wait, is Opus 4.1 in here? Oh wow, they didn't even benchmark it. That's kind of crazy. They didn't benchmark Opus 4.1. What about Sonnet 4? Sonnet 4. Dang, they didn't benchmark those. So I guess this is all we have. But I mean, this is the point that I'm trying to make. Hey, in 9 months, we've gone from 44.6 to 60.2. And really, like, the latest models that we've gotten from GPT, like from OpenAI, like, look at GPT 5.4, look at GPT 5.3, look at GPT 5.2, look at GPT 5.1, and you put these on, it's like, okay, we went from 44 to 47 to 51 to 53 to 56 to 60. But honestly, like, we haven't seen like a big jump in a while. It's been a little bit of time before we got like a really big improvement. I would say that Opus 4.5 really did feel like a big improvement. We haven't had one of those in a little bit. So, you know, you're just kind of working through that. Okay, let's see here. How's Grok build so far? Grok build isn't great. I can show it to you guys here in a second, but I don't use it a ton just because the model Grok 4.3 isn't fantastic. But here, let's go over here and great work. I now need you to review the code that has been written and double check it and make sure that it's clean and does not break any existing functionality and is safe to be pushed to GitHub. Okay, we're gonna do boom, 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 boom. Hold on. This one here, wait, this one may not have already been updated. Hold on, files to touch, wait, hold up, not yet. Okay, great work. I now need you to build out a implementation plan with the updates that you need to make to get this fixed. Okay, so we're gonna put this in plan mode, and then we'll submit. And I do want to show you guys some of the improvements that we have made to the bridge agent. So if you guys see this over on the right, this is the bridge agent, and this is so sick. I want to show this to you guys because this is what we were working on during, what was it, day 181. Watch this, guys. So I can literally take one of these agents now, right? And I can paste it in, and I can just say, I want you to give me a quick summary on what this agent did and the current status of the agent. So it literally has access to be able to see what happened inside of this terminal. Hold on, I would love to fix the styling on this. Hold on, I think I need to zoom out a little bit. There we go.
That agent is running a git diff on src/renderer/lib/terminal clipboard images.test.t.
So you literally just drag and drop, and now it has full context of the terminal. It's actually sick. Any idea how to make interactive PDFs with HTML and CSS stylings? Honestly, I would go to Claude Code for that one. I think he'll be able to help you out. Claude Code will be able to knock that out for you, definitely. All right, how's Big T doing down there, guys? Is he doing good? Is he chilling? Let me know in the chat. I can't see him. All right, let's go over here. So this one looks good. Answers the user question. The bug report is factually accurate. The mic is active from app launch onward. However, it is intentional architecture, warm stream for low latency PTT, not an accidental always listening leak. No audio is buffered or transmitted when not recording. So yes, that is done on purpose there. Wait, hold on. Make a height or show the task list would be better UX. I do think so, yes. Let's do that. I like that suggestion. So somebody just said, hey, let's make it so that you can hide this. I agree with that because I didn't like this. So let's just do clean shot X. Do I highlight there? I am going to drop this in, and then I'm going to do bridge space Tari. I now need you to launch 2 deep dive agents and review this task list inside of the bridge orchestration agent. And note that I want to make it so that users are able to hide the task list, create a button where they're able to toggle it on and off from seeing it and not seeing it, review, and then create a structured plan with the implementation. Okay. Honestly, that might be a little bit overkill for just a simple UI update, but we'll do it anyway. So somebody just asked, what am I building? So you're actually looking at it right now. So this is Bridge Space, also Bridge Voice right here. So this is a suite of vibe coding tools. You guys can go check this out at bridgemind.ai. But this is what we've built since like, how long have we been working this? I think since like January or February. Is it your idol named BridgeMind? What do you mean? Did you check out the new Claude limits? Yeah, the new Claude limits are very, very good. I don't have any issues with my limits anymore. I used to have some issues with limits, not anymore. I mean, even like right now, I've been launching sub agents. Let's just check usage right now. It's your usage. I mean, look at this, 16% used. I reset at 12:09. I've been using this. Like, I mean, that's insane. Like, this used to be that, hey, if you were using Claude Code, I mean, people aren't really talking about this, to be honest with you. Like, there was a while where when you used Claude Code, the usage limits were really, really bad, and you had a ton of people leave Claude and go over to OpenAI. But now, Claude has, like, really, really good rate limits. I don't know if you guys knew that, but they are very, very good. Yeah, I have seen people talking about Xiaomi. I don't use it, or it's Xiaomi, I guess. I don't personally use it a ton myself. I'm not a big fan of those models, but I do want to show this to you guys. This is pretty cool. So let's start with a fresh workspace. I'm going to just CD into BridgeMind here, and I'm going to show this to you guys. So we can just do skip, no agents. It launches this. Now watch this. So we can go over to Bridge here, and I can just talk to Bridge. Hey there, Bridge. I want you to open up 4 Claude Code agents and 4 Codex agents. All right, that's good. All right, so let's see here. We did make a big update. This is a little bit of a test, but look at this. So this is a lot more, just you guys can see it even shows the tool calling now. So you guys see how it says spawn agent panes. So now we have Claude Code agents and Codex agents that are now being spawned in this workspace. And then after we spawn them, now we can actually do the follow-up prompts. So watch this. Great work. I now want you to one of these agents to do an in-depth review of the OG graph image in BridgeMind UI. Give it a system prompt to review and identify why it currently is blank and shows a blank image. Figure out why this is happening. All right, so this is a little bit of a test. I haven't tested this thoroughly enough since day 181. So hold on. So it said, which agent should I hand this to? I'm just gonna say any agent, it doesn't matter. All right, it doesn't matter. We'll give it the agent. What do I prefer now, Claude or Codex? Honestly, I use both. I think it's smart to use both. If you don't use both, I think that you're gonna run into issues because Claude is really good at design and, you know, okay, hold on here. All right, so it looks like we did get a bug. If you guys look closely, hold on. So look at this bug here. So this is why we test this stuff out. So any agent, it doesn't matter. So it said read file, error, read file failed is a directory. So let's, first of all, there's a UI bug that I see, and then there's also a bug here that I see. So let's go over to our workspace here. And this one is done. So this was Qwen 3.6 that was running locally on my machine. Look at this. Wow. So this was the agent that was building out the ability for us to be able to use the YouTube API. So we had live counts of the BridgeMind YouTube count. And look at this. It actually looks like it was able to build this. And this is pretty good output. And this is the craziest part. It's literally free. You know, once you have Qwen 3.6 35B, I'm not spending any money. Now, I am running it on a $5,000 machine, which is obviously expensive, but hey, I'm never going to have to pay any more money to use these local models. If we look at Activity Monitor, you know, it is using up 30 gigabytes. If you look right here, it's using up 30 gigabytes on this machine, but hey, this machine does have 128 28 gigabytes of unified memory. That is a ton. And if you guys saw my video from this morning, I'm out in the country right now. I'm just taking some time to get away. But I was out on this dock with no Wi-Fi, no cell service, nothing. And I had Gemma 431B, Qwen 3.6 27B, and Qwen 3.6 35B all running. And it was kind of crazy, to be honest with you. It was crazy. What's your web UI for Hermes? It looks good. I just use it. It's the Hermes app. It's the Hermes app. And it's, yeah, that's actually their official app. It's pretty nice. But yeah, I mean, that looks good. We'll keep messing around with that, and we can see if that actually, you know, builds the feature. Hold on here. Let's shrink this. And it's this one here. So let's paste this in, collapse to header recommended. That looks fine. That looks good. Okay, submit. Okay, now let's drop this one. Let's use this agent right here. I am going to go out, and we're just going to launch another Claude agent. Anything design related, I do recommend using Claude. I want you to launch 5 deep dive agents and review the functionality in Bridge space associated with the Bridge Jarvis agent. And note that we got this error. And then we also, if you look at the UI doesn't look great either. You'll note that the tool calls are really jam-packed together, and then it also failed to submit the prompt. Would you launch 5 deep dive agents to review the functionality associated with this and pinpoint the smoking gun that caused this bug? And then I need you to create a structured implementation plan to fix the issue without breaking any existing functionality. Okay, so we'll launch this. I am going to put this in plan mode, and then we'll plan this out first. We'll see how that works. Okay, if you guys are watching and haven't already joined the BridgeMind Discord community, make sure you do so. Somebody said for 5K, you get up to 3 years of max plan. Local models are great and have many use cases, but pricing is not a factor. So first of all, I do agree with you. I'm just making the point that, hey, once you do have these models locally, like you guys aren't going to see me using, I mean, I am going to be using local models because they are getting better. If you guys look at the screen, I've already showed this a couple times, but like this is very, very revealing. If you look at the coding index, you can see that local models now are better than GPT-5, which was the frontier model just a couple months ago. The only issue that I have with it is that, like, why would you use local models in a real production workflow when you can use frontier models that are so much better? And people do say, they say, oh, well, local is just 6 months behind the frontier, and that's what a lot of people say. And obviously, if you look at this, it's like, okay, that is true. But the problem is that that's actually a lot. 6 months ago, AI 6 months ago is a lot different than the AI that we have now. So, you know, you have to look at this and you're like, yeah, that is better than GPT-5, but if I had GPT-5, I wouldn't have been able to build bridge space. It would literally be impossible. So, you know, you can use the local models, but they aren't intelligent. I'm curious, is anybody in the chat, if you use local models, let me know what you guys are using local models for. Also, if you guys are watching over on Twitch right now, thank you. OpenAI did release GPT-5 on August 7th, 2025. Yeah, so I guess we're getting close to 10 months ago now. So Qwen working well so far. Yeah, I mean, if you guys look at Qwen here, it's this one right here, and you guys can see that, hold on, it was this one here. I'll get a YouTube API key and we'll test this because this is actually like a decently complex full stack feature. All we need to do is get the API key for it. I do want to test it. Okay, is all that I'm missing the API key and we're ready to go? Did you already update the code? I need you to actually update the code and then let me know when you're done so that we can just add the API key respectively. I'm very, very interested to see if we can get this working with Qwen 3.6, but with Qwen 3.6, this is by far the best. If you guys are familiar with Gemma 431B, technically Gemma 431B is better, but when you're looking at it, if you guys saw my review video, Qwen 3.6 runs at over 100 tokens per second. And Gemma 431B only ran at like 21 tokens per second. So that is a substantial speed difference. And speed is huge, especially when you're running local models. I don't want to run a local model that runs like at 21 tokens per second. That's so slow. E% I'm using Qwen 1.5B for offline support in the app. That's cool. Using local models for uncensored info. Okay, interesting. Somebody said, but local is the future. Monarcho said, I use local models to filter AUS personal information from a service request and then hand it off anonymized to a frontier model. That's really interesting. Okay. All right, let's, hold on. I mean, look at this. It's already done. Hold on. Let's see how fast this is able to, okay, I need you to now update the code respectively. I'm ready for you to update it. Okay, let's see how this is able to work. What are the best uses for Codex as a student? Like what? Like for school and stuff? Or like to cheat on your homework? I mean, how are people even in university anymore? Like, isn't everybody just using AI? How's Big T doing, by the way, chat? Is he doing good down there? I hope he's doing good. I use local models for red teaming. Otherwise, local models are unusable. Yeah. Yeah, because you could use it, like if you guys are familiar, a lot of the frontier models now, if you ask it to find like vulnerabilities in an API, it'll literally say like, we can't do this for you, which is crazy. Yes, I approve. Okay, so I'm going to approve this, and you guys can see it's very fast. It thought for 11 seconds, and then it outputted all of that, and, you know, look at how fast it is. It's fast, right? It's fast. So, are you in plan mode? Yes, I am. How do I get out of plan mode? Hold up. Sorry, I don't use OpenCode enough. Hold on. All right. Okay, I approve. Proceed with your updates. I thought that I could build it while I was in plan mode. I guess not. How much money do I spend every day on AI? It's not every day. It's every month because I have subscriptions. So, for example, if you guys saw my Qwen 3.7 Max video, which if you guys are familiar with that model, it came out on Thursday last week. And, you know, it's interesting because I spent $40 in API use. I was using OpenRouter, but I spent it was actually $43 to be exact, using Qwen 3.7. And Qwen 3.7 is kind of marketed as like, oh, this is an affordable Chinese model. That model is not affordable. I spent $43 in 15 minutes testing it out, and it wasn't even able to get what I needed to done. So it spent $43, and then it produced an app that had like 15 TypeScript errors in it. If you guys haven't watched that video, make sure you do so. It's a very interesting one. But yeah, this is 35B if anybody's wondering. What's your web UI for Hermes? It looks good. I already mentioned it. It's you just look up, there's like a public repo for it on GitHub. I would go check it out. What am I building besides BridgeMind? So I'm working on Vibecademy.ai. If you guys want to go check that out, that's another project that I'm working on. But one thing that I was actually surprised by is that, hold on, let me actually pull up the Stripe dashboard real quick so you guys can see what we're looking at. Hold on, let me get into Stripe real quick and I'll show you guys the Stripe dashboard. I was very, very surprised. As you guys know, I thought that we were going to get hit with like a bunch of churn last week. And it was I was a little bit like discouraged, to be completely honest with you. But look at this. Looks like we had some churn since we started the stream, but we're at 15,364. Now, I'm not super happy with the growth rate of the MRR. I think that, if you look at this, look at this. So in the last 4 weeks, net volume from sales has been 19,000. If we go out for 3 months, you guys can see the growth of BridgeMind. We've had this was the launch of BridgeSpace 2, this was the launch of BridgeSpace 3, and then we had some good steady growth, and then we've kind of stagnated a little bit. And I'm not happy that we've stagnated, but this is what happens, right? You guys get to see the raw, authentic journey, and I just do my best to be able to show you guys, because there's a lot of people that'll, they'll do build in publics, and then you just never see these numbers, and it really is my goal so that you guys get to see the raw behind the scenes of hey, if it goes up, we go up together, if it goes down, we go down together, okay? And no matter what, we're just going to keep showing up and staying consistent. But yeah, I mean, we're stagnating a little bit, and I don't like to see the stagnating. But the thing is we're in no rush, right? We're at 15,000. I think that for me, a lot of the times I'm just trying to think through, I don't have, and I was kind of talking to you guys a little bit about this already, but I don't have a clear vision right now for hey, how do we get that next 200K in ARR? First of all, we're in a very down period for AI in general. The latest model releases are done. We got Opus 4.7. We got GPT 5.5. The space is quiet right now, okay? The space is very quiet, and we're kind of in this down period that a lot of people may not see, but I've now been building in public and live streaming long enough to know that we're going to see a big uptick once we get new model releases, and I think that BridgeMind is also going to see a huge increase in ARR. So we just have to keep on grinding, keep showing up, and just keep moving forward, guys. So if you guys are working right now and you guys are going through a tough period, just know that you're not in it alone. I think that that's what the BridgeMind community is all about, is we win together, we lose together, we stagnate together, and we win together. Let's just keep pushing forward and not get sidetracked with negative feelings or anything like that. Let's just keep showing up and pushing forward. Okay, Drew said, do you have a token count on all the Qwen work so far? Not the total work. I mean, this right here, it used 66,000 tokens. If you guys look at this, it looks like this one is done. It modified just a few files. It created a hook files for use YouTube subscribers. I'm interested to see if we can actually get this working. This environment variable is going in my front end. Is it okay if this gets exposed? I'm not sure if that's actually okay. So this is, that's Qwen 3.6. Imaginary said 15,000 MRR is a lot. It is, yeah. It's interesting. I think that I never want to overlook what's been accomplished. I think that there is to some extent, it is a little bit natural for, hey, once you achieve something, there is something that's natural just in the human psyche of once you get something, you get used to it, and then you kind of forget what it felt like to initially get it. And sometimes I can feel that way with the MRR where, hey, I mean, the goal is 1 million. To get to 1 million in ARR. And I think that we're going to get there. And ultimately, that is my goal. So to be stagnating at 185, I get a little bit frustrated. I'm man, how do we get to that next level? And I'm not there yet. I don't have the answers quite yet, but I know that we're going to get them figured out. So I appreciate you guys for being part of the journey with me. Okay. What is your customer ITV? LTV? Sorry, what does LTV mean? Do you have any expectations for upcoming models like Opus 4.6 or GPT 5.6? Honestly, I think that those models will be additional improvements for sure. But honestly, I'm not feeling great. I feel after the last drop, sometimes it can feel like they're just releasing these models to continue the hype train. I need you to review the work that's been done in this terminal and tell me if the work is done, yes or no. And this is a nice feature about Bridge. So when you're working with these terminals, you can just ask Bridge hey, is this done? And look at this. Bridge says, Yes, the agent finished the review, found the diff. Work is complete. So we are now done with this one. Let's now check this one as well. Okay, I now want you to check this terminal. Is the work in this terminal done? Yes or no? And that's very good. We built that last stream. Lifetime value a customer provides to you. Well, what we're seeing now is we are seeing like much more solid. Okay, yes, this agent is done. Okay, this one's done. Let's check this one now as well. Great, same thing. Is this one done? Yes or no? And this is a great feature about Bridge. UB asks, can I be mod? Make sure you just join the Discord and, be around and we'll mod you if you're, around the Discord. We recognize people that are active and familiar faces. The transparency is goated. Been following from early doors. Love the stuff. Early days. And this desktop app setup is insane. I need to get on that for myself. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. Yeah, appreciate the support. We've been doing this for a while now, and we just got to keep showing up and making progress. Somebody did ask, many people are blocked to scale to 100K and after to $1 million. Yeah, it's like somebody said this. I think it may have been Hung or somebody said it in the chat, but they just mentioned like, hey, what's gonna get you from 0 to 100? Or like he said 0 to 1, just like for an analogy, like what got you from 0 to 1 is not necessarily the same strategy that gets you from 1 to 100, right? And I feel like that's so true. There's so many instances where I feel like I've had to constantly like keep like evolving and changing, and you guys have been along for the ride, and you guys have seen some of those things of like, how I've grown, matured, and grown, evolved over the course of these past 182 days. And it's like, it does take like some pretty serious evolution. Let's check up on Qwen 316. Okay, so Qwen 316 says, you're right to flag that, remove. I think that we're going to need to put this in the API, guys. We're going to need to put this in the API. Isn't this going to need to be an API endpoint? I don't know how I feel about this. Hold on. Oh, you're Nespes? Okay, yeah, I'll mod you. Shout out to everybody watching over on Twitch. The camera is very bouncy. Is the desk or something shaking? You guys here, let me show you guys a quick tour. Let's bust out a, let's bust out a 30 bomb real quick, and I'll show you guys around. Here's Big T's taking a quick nap. Look at him. All right, I'm gonna show you guys around. This is Big T. He's pretty chill. But yeah, little tour there. Yeah, Big T, he's chilling. All right, so check this out, guys. Let's go back over to Bridge Space here. So I mean, yeah, like one thing that you guys will see. So I didn't like is that it literally put the YouTube API key in the front end. And the environment, like, remove next public prefix, move the actual HTTP call to server-side code only. So this is like an example of local models not getting things necessarily correct. Because that API key should have been like probably just an API endpoint, and it should have gone in the back end. And like, if you guys are familiar with the BS bench where models will accept nonsense, it's like, yeah, probably my YouTube API key shouldn't go in as a next public variable. Am I wrong? Like, it just, I don't think that that's good. Yeah, once I get my proper setup, I'll be back to normal, but I just wanted to stream from here. It's a cool setup. But look at this. I mean, I really do like this feature with Bridge where the drag and drop is actually incredibly useful because, for example, hey, I can just orchestrate these workspaces now by dragging and dropping and just asking Bridge, hey, is this agent done working? Yes or no? So I literally just tell Bridge, I drag and drop that terminal, and then it said, yes, this one is done, work complete, right? And so rather than me having to even like go back and say like, okay, what did this one do? Do I have anything I need to work on? It's literally just like, yeah, that one's done. Don't worry about it, right? And that's incredibly useful. It's very, very nice. What do I think about OpenClaw? I don't use OpenClaw. I do use Hermes agents though. Hermes agents are much better in my opinion. OpenClaw like kind of breaks a lot. Okay, all three pass. So same thing here. I'll just drag and drop this into Bridge. Same, and I'll just say same thing. Check this agent's work. It's very, very nice. You set up those API keys with restrictions so they can only work on your server's IPs. Okay. Okay, this one's done as well. Okay, this one's done. All right. Same thing. So it'll check its work, and like you're just working with an orchestration agent. So one thing to remember is that this isn't just like, this isn't the only thing about BridgeSpace. Like with BridgeSpace, you literally get a built-in editor, you get a built-in browser, you get skills out of the box. There are incredibly useful things inside of BridgeSpace, bridge memory, bridge board, and I think that people like that use it, they really do like it, and that's why it's like I was very, very happy to not see like a ton of churn this past week, because what it did show me is that, okay, like people are getting a lot of use out of BridgeSpace and they like the product, otherwise they would churn, right? And we actually did not have a ton of churn last week that I was expecting. I'm gonna do the same thing, and I think that all of these are now done. Gemma, which model? Hey, look who it is. Super Combo, how's it going, man? What's up? The stream is currently playing at 720p and the 1080 option is not visible. Yeah, guys, I'm on a different setup today, so I'll be back to my normal office here soon. But I am doing a little bit of traveling, so I just wanted to stream today from this setup. You guys sit here. I'll show you the setup again if you guys want to see it. Here it is. This is the setup. So there's some things that are a little bit different about today's stream, but we'll be back to the normal setups here soon. New theme, new stream location. Yeah, I'm traveling a little bit. Okay. Hey, have you noticed any real difference between extra high and max thinking in Claude? Like, is max actually noticeably better, or does it sometimes even make things worse, like overthinking stuff? Yeah, I don't use max a ton. I do use extra high. Okay, I'm going to prompt. Now watch this. Now I'm going to have it. Let's see if it does work. Hold on. Okay, great work. I now need you to do follow-up prompt to all of the agents and prompt every single agent in this workspace with a single deep dive review agent that will review the work that was done in that agent's terminal and ensure that no breaking changes were made and that surgical fixes and updates were made correctly. Okay, let's see if this works. Okay, so we just prompted it. I think we did have a little bit of an issue. Let's see. Super Combo said he's tired but grinding through the day. Went to bed at 6 a.m. Woke up at 8 a.m. Oh, dude, that's crazy. All right, what are you working on? Are you working on QuipShot? Nice progress. Do you do coding only by talking? Typing feels so slow these days. Yeah, I only do. I only use either Bridge or Bridge Voice. Okay, so this is an issue. Do you guys see this? All right, so we are having an issue with submitting prompts. Look at this. So it said submit prompt, and it errored out for each of these. So that is obviously an issue. Let's grab this, and I think it's this one right here. Would you do an in-depth review of another bug that I just got? As you can see here, it tried to use the submit prompt, and it refused for every terminal that it tried to submit a prompt to. Review this in complete depth with 5 deep dive agents and pinpoint exactly what is causing this and create a structured plan that does a surgical fix to fix our issue and get this working correctly. what's Bridge's base model? It's Grok. Yeah, Grok is actually and that's the thing, like people sleep on Grok a little bit, but the thing is it's actually a pretty fast model that is affordable and very intelligent for like using it with like something like this. Now, would I code a ton using like Grok and Grok build? Probably not. I think that Opus 4.7 is going to be a better coding model, but you know, hey, Opus 4.7 is Opus 4.7. If you look at Grok, okay, like this, let's just go over to BridgeBench because I think BridgeBench does tell a really good story. Let's go over to BridgeBench, and if you go over to the BridgeBench hallucination benchmark, look at what model is at the top of this benchmark. Grok 4.3. If you go over to the reasoning benchmark, look at what models are at the top of this benchmark. Grok 4.2 and Grok 4.3. If you look at the BS, how does it do on BS? It scores 6th. If you look at speed, look at speed. Now, Gemini 3.5 Flash is now basically a near immediate model, but it scores 3. It's actually a very good model that people kind of sleep on, in my opinion. I think people need to start taking Grok a little bit more seriously. You know, Grok 4.3, very fast, very affordable, very intelligent. Now in coding, you know, if you look at the UI benchmarks, it's like, oh, this is actually something I want to do too, chat. Now that we have so many models, hold on, let's go over here and let's open up a new workspace. I didn't know that I wanted to do this. We're about to push a couple updates here as well. Okay, Super Combo said I wasn't even working, couldn't sleep for some reason. Oh, that sucks. What do you guys recommend for vibe coding? Claude Code, Cursor, Copilot, Anti-Gravity, or Codex? I recommend, it depends on your budget. Claude Code's probably the best right now. Then Codex. Codex is climbing the fastest for sure. That one's growing like very, very quickly. And let's CD into BridgeBench. And then let's just launch a singular Claude Code agent. And then let's go over to Bridge here. And I'm going to drag and... Oh, I think I have some Claude Code passes. Look at this. All right, share Claude Code and earn $50 in usage credits. Hold on, I may have some free credits for you guys. Hey. Oh, no, I have 0 left. What the heck? Sorry, I just gaslit you guys. My bad. All right, let's go over here. And I'm just going to drag and drop this workspace. I want you to prompt this Claude Code agent to launch 5 deep dive agents to do an in-depth review of the project, and note that we need to implement searching functionality so that users are able to search specific models on different pages. For example, being able to search a particular model on the results pages for UI and security and hallucination and everything of that nature. All right, and I don't know if this is actually going to work. The prompting mechanism was not working when we tried this out a second ago. Oh, it worked. Okay, perfect. All right, so look at this, guys. So this is you guys can see that Bridge was able, and that was actually like near immediate too. So you guys can see that it says launch 5 deep dive agents to perform an in-depth review of the entire project with a special focus on adding search functionality so users can search for specific models on result pages. And then it basically literally gave it the context, and this will help you get way better results. I didn't even have to write the prompt myself. Literally, the Bridge orchestration agent did this for me. It's very, very nice. Is BridgeMind something like agent like OpenClaw and Hermes? I am considering a project that may look like that. It's some point. But right now, hey, the majority of our ARR is in Bridge Space and in Bridge Voice and this product suite. So that's the main focus right now. But we have built a really good project and product. So, you know, we're at 185K ARR. I think that there's other revenue drivers that we're going to introduce. But right now, it's like I'm just enjoying what I'm doing, and that's the main goal right now. As a software engineer, I'm literally crying watching this. Just learn to code. Yeah, so Bug Guy. So I don't know if you're familiar with vibe coding or you're familiar with the space. I'm sure that you are if you're a software engineer. Obviously, you know what's happening. But I will just share my perspective with you. I don't think that you need to code anymore at all. These coding agents are getting to the level where they are very, very good, and you are able to build production-grade software using coding agents. So whereas, you know, like 9 months ago with GPT-5, like, I mean, we can even look at this, and it's like, okay, like maybe if you said that like a year ago, or I mean, like a year ago, we didn't even have GPT-5. I think we literally had just like O2, or I guess it was O3, right? But the coding models have gotten way better. So I know that a lot of people, people used to hate on me, and they were like, go learn to code. You're so dumb. You're so stupid. Go learn to code. You're such an, like, just all the stuff that I hear, right? Like laughing at me, right? And it's like, I mean, like, look at the Stripe dashboard, right? Like, I've made $53,000 in the last 3 months. My MRR is at 15,364. And it's like, at the end of the day, I think people need to recognize that, okay, you can actually build production software with vibe coding and with AI. So I understand that you may say, oh, just go learn to code. But the thing is like, nobody's going to be coding in 5 years. So why would I go learn to code when nobody's going to be coding in 5 years? It's all going to be done through AI. If you haven't been in the space, I've been vibe coding for over 3.5 years now, and I've watched the evolution. I've felt the evolution. I've been there for every part of this process, and I can promise you that the speed that this technology is improving is going to completely take away programming. You're not going to have any manual coders in 5 years that are legitimately like working in organizations or working in like startups. Nobody is going to be coding by hand. So I think that there are elements to, it's good to know what you're doing, right? And that's why, you know, I'm currently building out Vibecademy. But at the same time, like, just to come in and say, just go learn to code, I don't think that that is the right thing to do. Like, just genuinely, like, from my experience, just telling somebody to go learn to code, I just don't think it's the right thing to do. I don't think that you should learn to code like just syntax. Like, if you're starting from scratch, are you really going out and learning syntax? Like, is that really what people are doing right now? Because if that's what you're doing right now, I recommend that you stop. If you're listening to people that are like, don't use AI, stop listening to them, because they are not telling you the right thing. I can promise you that. I wouldn't discourage people to learn to code since it's still a valuable skill to have. It's true that vibe coding has taken over, but I would still suggest people to learn how to code. I mean, I would suggest that people learn the architecture. People need to learn the broad frameworks of like, hey, what is Next.js? What is the folder structure look like? Why would you use Next.js? Like, what does a good Next.js project look like? But like typing out the boilerplate code for a Next.js project, like, why would you need to do that? Why would you ever need to learn that, right? I don't think you do. So that's just my point of like something to think about. It's like, hey, I've been in the space for a while. Okay, great work. I now need you to create a structured plan and make sure that you get every single page updated with search functionality respectively. And I do want you to use the front-end design plugin to build out the design for it. All right. Not just syntax, but you're also learning how to think. Syntax was never valuable to begin with. I mean, syntax was the only way to code. You would have to write syntax. So I think that syntax was always reliable. It used to be needed. Hold on, let me put this up real quick. Hold on, guys. How many likes are we at? How many likes are we at, chat? How is BridgeSpace on resource usage? It's really good. Do you think the same about reading book while nowadays AI summarize it for you? I think that reading books is a good thing to do. Like, I read, if you guys know, like Marcus Aurelius Meditations, I think that like reading is obviously good for you, just like in general. Okay, I don't like how this is failing. It failed. So it failed to submit prompts to all 8. When it did have one as reference, it was able to do it. I need you to run the build for BridgeSpace and make sure that the build is properly building and fix any errors. Okay. What have I built so far? You're looking at it. So this is BridgeSpace. It's an agent development environment. Also Bridge Voice, which is a voice-to-text tool, and we've bundled it together into a singular AI ecosystem for vibe coding. What's the setup? How much did I spend to maintain it? So I literally just spent $600 a month. I am doing a little bit of traveling right now. I did buy an M5 Max for $5,300. And you know, like local models, like here's the thing. Local models, I tested them in a video, but like I'll use them. And for example, like I'll use them for like a Hermes agent. But the thing is like, practically speaking, if you're somebody that, if you have like a ChatGPT Pro subscription, right? There is no world where you're just like, oh, let me use, I mean, okay, let me take that back. It is not, like, you guys are not going to see me vibe coding with Qwen 3.6. Hold on. What's the exact name of the front-end design plugin that you want me to use? Oh, I don't have it on this. Let's use the front end taste skill, guys. Let's try that skill. Remember that skill, guys? Does anybody have the link to the front end taste skill? Hold on, let's look it up real quick in Google. Front end taste skill. Have you guys seen this skill? A lot of people are talking about this. Is this it right here? I'm assuming it's this one. It has like 19,000. Yeah, it's this one right here. So this skill has 20,000 stars. Hold on, let me pull up Twitch real quick, guys. Oh man, I'm not logged in. Yeah, I'm gonna try this. Let's try getting this installed here. So I'm gonna submit this one. Yeah, I haven't used this one. Thank you, Mute the App. So we're gonna test this skill. I use Qwen 3.6 and it's good on my side. I mean, yeah, like, but the thing is like, if you are like super, like with these bugs I'm getting in Bridge Space, right? I probably wouldn't be able to get them done. Like, I probably wouldn't be able to solve a lot of these bugs that we've been getting today on local models because they're not intelligent enough. They're not able to code well enough. And, you know, I just don't know anybody that is seriously using them, like, for, like, production. Like, there's your certain nuances where, for example, hey, like, I told you guys about how, for example, I had a Hermes agent that I needed its API keys, and it literally would not send me the API keys because, hey, with OpenAI's API, if you make a request to a Hermes agent to send you its API keys, OpenAI will block that request. So there are like some things where it's like, hey, basically like OpenAI is policing that and you cannot get around it. It literally will not let you make that request, and it can be so frustrating. And that would be a use case where, for example, hey, using a local AI model, it would have sent me the API keys immediately, right? Because it doesn't have to go through OpenAI, which is very, very nice. Okay, let me CD into Vibecademy real quick, and I do want to do one thing just briefly. Hold on. I want to go here. I am going to set up a quick preset. Let's just do Vibecademy here. We'll do 4 sessions and desktop. Vibecademy. Rob said, I sometimes have to switch between all of the most intelligent models to solve my complex bugs. Yeah, it's, I mean, the local models just are not there yet. And like, that's the thing is, it's like, people are like, there's people that say local models are very close. And it is true. Like, I'll go back to the example that I've been showing you guys. If you look at artificial analysis, these models are now better than GPT-5. Frontier open source models like Gemma 431B and Qwen 3.6 27B, these are now better than GPT-5, which was the Frontier coding model just 9 months ago. But the thing is that there's a big difference between GPT 5.5 and GPT 5. Like, you know, so yes, local models are catching up, but they're not that close, guys. Like, I think that by the time that we have local models that are as good as GPT 5.5, how good is GPT-6 going to be? You know what I mean? Like, because that, you know, it's just, you know, that's your trade-off. And I don't know if we'll ever get there is the only thing, is that, you know, that's just my perspective. And all right. Let's just use Codex for this. It's fine. Yes. Okay. Hold on. I need you to clone the Vibecademy UI and the Vibecademy API and the Vibecademy app from my GitHub, the Vibecademy organization. Sorry guys, the camera is shaking when I'm typing. I'm traveling and stuff. It'll be, once I'm back to my normal setup, it'll be back to normal. Okay. This one is still installing the taste skill. Okay, let's see what chat's saying. Can you zoom the window a little bit? Yeah. Grok build 0.1 or Composer 2.5 fast. Definitely Composer 2.5 fast for me personally. I mean, they can not be that good. They don't have the capital. Maybe Cursor can if Elon supports them, but Kimi or other models don't have the budget to train it as OpenAI. That's true. How do you have multiple agents working together in one workspace without disrupting each other? Is that a BridgeSpace thing, or can I do this with all IDEs? So BridgeSpace definitely helps orchestrate that, especially with the Bridge orchestration agent. But you can do this just on like any IDE. If you just give your agents like different prompts and different tasks that aren't going to interfere with each other, like yeah, if you tell both like two agents to update the same file, you're gonna have a problem. But for the most part, like just make it so that they don't do that, and you'll be fine. Closed source will always be better than open source. I do agree. When am I back home? Tomorrow. Yeah, I'll be back home tomorrow. So it was Memorial Day weekend. I ended up doing I was actually gonna stream yesterday, but just to honor Memorial Day, I didn't stream. Thank you guys. If you've served in our military, thank you. All right, let's go over here. This one should clone. All right, hold on 1 second here. All right, got it. Nice. Okay. How's Big T doing? Is he doing good? Let's drop a 30 bomb, chat. Let's drop a 30 bomb. Let's go. Found, oh, sorry, infinite loop here. All right, this one looks good. Found it first, said, I've learned so much from you. Thank you, man. Yeah, I've got you, yeah. Found it first, said, I can't thank you enough for documenting all of this for everyone. Yeah, thank you, man. Yeah, you know, when I started, it was actually when I was in college. I just had a vision for like being able to show people the true journey of an entrepreneur. And whether I succeed or fail in my mission and my goal, which I do think I'll succeed, it's just going to take persistence and consistency and staying power. And you guys know that. I've talked about that before. And it's like, man, this front end, this taste skill is taking longer that I'm seeing. It says, I have what I need. I'm interested in this taste skill. I haven't used it before. A lot of people are talking about this. What was I learning in college? So I went to college for finance. I always wanted to be an entrepreneur. I'll show you guys like pretty much how my college went. Hold up here. Let me go to GitHub. So look at this. So I went to college for finance, but when I was a sophomore, this was in 2022, I actually started coding in 2022. Now, I wasn't really actively pushing to GitHub because I was learning on like Codecademy, and I was learning the traditional way of software development. I was coding line by line. I was doing everything that people would tell you to do, right? If you wanted to go like become a software engineer or like build a product. And I started like coding every single day and like actually working on building my first company in 2023. So you guys can see that I started coding pretty much every day. Like, I mean, look at this. I pretty much coded like 2 months straight. 3 months straight, and then you guys can see like 2024, this is what my GitHub contributions look like. So 3,646 in 2024, 3,756 in 2025, and then 2026 so far has been 2,145. So I've pretty much been shipping code like daily for the past 3.5 years. You know, I don't think that I wasn't working on a company yet, but I did start in 2022. I technically started when I was a teenager, but I wasn't like pushing production code, but that's what my GitHub looks like. So, yeah, I mean, if you code every single day, ultimately, like, you don't need to go to college for it. You don't need to get a CS degree. You don't need, like, especially now, like with the tools that we have now, you can learn like the basics online, and then you can just take that and run with it, especially if you are coding every day. Like, that really is going to help excel. I've worked with software developers that they have the CS degree, but they only have 500 commits. I would rather take somebody that has 3,000 commits over somebody that has a CS degree but only has 500 commits. Or I've even seen, you know, CS degree, like people that have these majors and they have like 10 commits, right? And I'm like, dude, did you just like go to school and like not do anything, you know? And I feel like that's like so common in college now, where, you know, basically you're, you know, and I don't want to like put out like a broad statement. I'm just saying, like, with CS majors that I've worked with that went to Purdue and did CS and that have like, you know, low code commits, they haven't been the best engineers. I would rather work with somebody that has a bunch of project experience than somebody that just has a goofy CS degree. I think that CS degree means nothing. All right, I wonder if he actually coded those contributions himself, or did some agents do while he was sleeping? Very funny. All right, let's go over here. Workspace. All right, this is done here. I just want to make sure. Hold on, let's do an LS real quick. All right, perfect. All right, so we do have this now. I do want to do something real quick on Vibecademy API, Vibecademy UI. I need you to note that Vibecademy is not yet launched and is not ready to launch yet. And I want you to find the waiting list API endpoint, and I want you to update the call to action buttons from get started or start now to, you know, something about joining the waiting list. I need you to launch 2 deep dive agents, find what I'm talking about, and then create a structured plan for updates and make sure that you update every single call to action to join the waiting list respectively. There should be a waiting list page as well, so make sure you get that route correctly. Okay, this should be good, and I am going to use Codex for this. Codex is getting very, very reliable. It is a more intelligent model that you can definitely tell is more intelligent. What is more important, commits versus lines of code? I would say that like commits are more important, because commits typically are like working updates, right? So for example, you know, hey, once I get something working, sometimes now I'll just like push things once I have like a fully working feature, or I'll push things once I get a fully working implementation. I won't just like push code that's like crappy and broken, right? I'll wait until I get to QA test it in dev, and then push. Loving the gym, rogue plates. Thank you, man. Yeah, you guys, how many likes are we at, by the way? This is a weird setup since I don't only have one monitor. All right, we're at 288 likes. If you guys haven't already liked the stream, we've got 531 people watching. If you guys do watch the streams, it does mean a lot for me for you guys to just like, subscribe, turn post notifications on. You know, I show up every day and I give it my best. I'm trying to grow this community, and we do have a Discord community of over 10,000 builders and entrepreneurs now. So if you guys haven't already joined that Discord community, make sure you join it, because this is the largest vibe coding movement in the world. Like there is no other vibe coding community that is as big as the BridgeMind community. It's amazing. So thank you guys for being a part of it. We are going to be doing a project sharing event tomorrow. Let me make this event while we're on stream right now and explain it to you guys a little bit while I build it here. So we are going to have a project sharing event tomorrow. It's going to be in a stage channel, and I am going to switch it up a little bit. The winner of this event, we're actually going to have winners to project sharing events. So we're going to have people present their projects, and whoever presents and is voted the best project of the day is going to get $100 in Bitcoin. So I'm just going to make this event real quick. So project sharing event, it's going to be tomorrow at 1 p.m. and we're going to do, so 6 members of the BridgeMind community will get to share their projects. A winner will be voted and win $100 in Bitcoin. All right, so this is going to be just a fun event that we can do together tomorrow. I'll fund it personally. Let's do this. So this is going to be at 1 p.m. tomorrow. Let's create the event. If you guys are interested in sharing, I'll just put this in the general here. Project sharing event tomorrow at time. It's going to be at 1 p.m. Winner gets $100 in Bitcoin. All right, and I'm going to add everyone here. All right, so this is going to be tomorrow. Winner gets $100 in Bitcoin. So if you guys are interested in sharing your project, just let me know here. That'll be something fun that we can do together. I guess it's not, that Nightbot is so annoying. It says today every day. That's so annoying. All right, cool. So we're going to do that. All right, let's go back over here real quick. Let's go over to BridgeSpace. Yes, implement this plan. So this is the, this is the thing about frontier models that you just don't get from from like local models. Look who's in the chat. Python, how's it going? He said rise and grind. Where are we at today? So right now, look at, you guys can check this out. We're at an Airbnb right now, and this is what we're looking at here. Just like literally like a private gym out in the country. I just needed to get out of the house. You know, basically I'm in a situation where I basically live in my office. And to be able to get out is definitely an important thing, especially like, hey, you can go like 30, 60, 90, 120, 150. But like once you start to get like further and further into like, you know, a build in public series where you're expected to show up every day and you want to show up every day, but you're like basically living in the same place that you're working. I will definitely say like it's important for, you know, me to be able to get out. And that's another reason why I bought the M5 Max. You know, I didn't buy the M5 Max just for the sole purpose of being able to run local models. Like I think it would be really cool to be able to just hook up with a Starlink, go out somewhere remote and be able to just like vibe code, you know, from like the mountains, for example. Like how cool would that be? And like that's a little bit of a dream of mine, because it's like freedom is such a big thing. And like something that I look at is I'm like, I don't really need like nice things. I don't really care too much about like having like, I've had the same car for the past like 5 years. I don't need a bunch of like materialistic things. What's really important for me is just like having freedom. And you can say that, hey, having good finances and you know, making money and stuff, that is freedom to some extent. So I think that that's like one important thing that, you know, a lot of people should understand is it's like, I feel like I'm working for freedom a lot of the ways. I've been living in my office for 15 years. How do you manage YouTube API quota? Like, what do you mean? Like, how do I like get it like set, or what do you mean? Python said, dude, that's sick. As someone who works from home as well, I understand fully. Enjoy, brother. Thank you, Python. I appreciate that. Yeah. How's Big T doing, by the way? Also, guys, you guys want to do, we can do a set of bench. Hold on, how many likes we at? We're at 297 likes. 3 more likes and we'll do a set of bench. We'll do a set of bench. 3 more likes. Grok build is insane. You think so? I do have Grok build. Hold on. Is Grok build insane? Hold on, Grok. Oh, I don't have it installed. I need you to get Grok build installed on this machine. All right, let's test out Grok build here. What are you building? You're looking at it right now. Chris Luttrell said, I would just say live in your office is an understatement. 182 days is half a year at this. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, it's you know, it definitely, it has a little bit of a different feel. You like, hey, when you first get started with something, you know, it's like, at this point, it's like brick by brick by brick is how we're going to get to 1 million. It is like a true grind, right? And I think that like with whatever you guys are doing, just know that if you keep showing up, if you put the work in, you will make progress. And that's the standpoint that I have right now, where it's like, yeah, things are a little bit, you know, a little bit more like grind. I feel like I'm like grinding so much lately. All right. Somebody said that Titan wants a treat. Hold on. Oh, now that I said it, now he wants it. He's actually really good. Watch this. He can do like tricks and stuff. Come here, buddy. Over here. Sit. Sit. He's stretching. Titan, sit. Sit. Good boy. Shake. Good boy. That's a good boy. He's a good dog. All right, infinite cam, sorry. All right, let's go over here. So Grok build, I did just download it. Is it with Grok or is it agent? I don't know which one it is. All right, it's Grok. All right, hold on here. All right, I have to log in with X. Hold on. All right, Mr. Subnet said, new to the channel, but good vibes, man. Motivating to just get things done with AI and bring your ideas to life. Thank you, man. That's why I just try my best. Just try my best. All right, I do have, let's get into Grok build. And I'll show you guys a little bit about what I think of Grok build. We'll test it out a little bit. Let me just paste my token in. All right, so I did just get Grok build. I do have like their $300 plan or whatever it is. But check this out, guys. So this is Grok build. If you guys haven't used it, like we can just do, hold on, we're actually in, let's go over here. So Vibecademy UI. So let's see how fast this is. I need you to launch 5 subagents and do a complete in-depth review of the SEO inside of the Vibecademy UI and report back to me a structured list of your findings of how we can improve our SEO for the website. So then I'm going to use the bridge space skill, so I can go over to here, and there is a bridge SEO skill. We're going to drop that in, and we're going to submit this, and this will launch 5 subagents. Now, with Grok 4.3, this is a very, very fast model. It's not the best model. There are better models like Opus 4.7 and GPT 5.5, but this model is very, very fast. Titan, over here. Titan, come here. He's like eating stuff. D-Side Drew said Big T is a 1000x developer. I think so. I mean, look at him. I mean, he's, I mean, if he just got hooked up with like a Neuralink or something, I feel like, I think that thing should, you know, this could be a really good partnership actually. So I'll have to talk to Elon about that and see what we can do there. But yeah, I think that would be pretty good if we could get Big T, you know, to be at least be a little bit more productive. All right, but yeah, so this is Grok build. All right, hold on, guys. I'm getting a call. Oh, shoot. All right, sorry, guys. I'm going to have to take this real quick. Just real quick. This is an important call. I'm going to have to take this one. All right, I'm getting spam called. Sorry, guys. I'll be right back. Give me 1 second here. Hey, Elon, how's it going? Yeah, no, I'm off stream for a second. I can talk. What I think about Grok build? Yeah, I mean, I'm using it right now. Fast. It's fast. Not the most intelligent model, but really. Oh, wow. Okay, 250,000. Okay. Yeah, I mean, the Neuralink's been helping a lot. They don't know that I have it, but no, I just mentioned, I was just making a joke about Big T having it, but yeah, 250,000 will work. I'll keep using it and testing it on stream, and you know, maybe I'll even give it the BridgeMind stamp of approval, but it's going to be at least 250K. Oh, the new house, how am I liking it? Oh, it's great. Yeah, no, I appreciate the wire transfer you hit me up with. It's great. Yeah, the gem's great, and I really appreciate you. So I won't tell them about the Neuralink, but let's talk after the stream. I got to get back to it. But yeah, I'll keep testing Grok build, but I'll catch you later, Elon. Okay, sounds good. All right, bye. All right, what's up, guys? Sorry about that. That was my grandma. We're back. But yeah, Grok build here, it's looking pretty good. I mean, it's running subagents. If you guys look at this, it has like, I'm pretty sure that these are the tasks. So you guys can see that it has like, one task is completed, one task is in progress, and then 3 are still to do, and that's what this 131 is up here on the right. Now with Grok build, it is a little bit more expensive. It's like, without the deal, I got it for $99 a month because I used like a 67% off discount, but without that discount, it would be $300 a month, and I don't feel like the usage, I mean, I'm pretty sure that Elon did say that the usage is gonna get better, but for now, you know, the usage isn't great. Like if I just do Command D, I'll show you guys this real quick. So check this out. If I just do Grok here, you guys will see that, look at this. If I do usage, look at this. So if you guys remember when I tested out Grok build, this is actually why I stopped using it. Look at this. Do you guys see credits used 9%? It resets in 5 days, but I tested Grok build when it initially came out. I was sick for a bit, but I tested it maybe a couple days after. And in a singular, like 30-minute vibe coding session, I used 8% of my usage. So you don't get a ton of usage from Grok build, if I'm being completely honest. And then the usage limits like resets like monthly or something like that. It's kind of like crazy. It's kind of crazy. All right, it is bench time. Let's hit a set of bench. Hold on, check this out, guys. All right, hold on here. All right, check this out. We got Grok build working for us. Hold on. Yes, proceed. But yeah, I mean, it also, like, I don't see with Grok build, I don't see the speed up. I don't see the speed up. I don't see the same speed up. It's kind of weird. All right, check this out, guys. Let's go. Let's go, guys. That's sick. All right, let's go check out how Grok build's doing. All right, so check for legacy next sitemap. Benchmark my bench press. Yeah, it's a good idea. That's funny. All right, waitlist signups. Whoa. Wait, why did it... Wait, do you guys see this? It's restoring. Wait, hold on. Was the waitlist signups table ever dropped? If so, when? What's my max bench? It used to be a lot more. My max bench was 250. I don't know what my max bench would be now. That was just 135, so kind of just trying to stay fit now, if that makes sense. Like, I literally used to work out like 2.5 hours a day with my buddies from college, but I don't have time for that anymore. Yeah, that was just 135. All right. All right, let's go over here. So this is ready. We are gonna push out an update to BridgeSpace right now. Okay, great work. I now need you to bump the version of BridgeSpace and get all local changes deployed. All right. So we are about to push out an update here. If you guys are interested in BridgeSpace, this is what I use as my agentic development environment. I think that it is the best ADE on the market. If you guys are interested in this, I am going to do a quick fire sale. So let's go over to Stripe real quick, and I am going to generate here a hold on. I am going to generate a Stripe coupon code real quick, and we're going to do a fire sale real quick. Also, for those of you that are watching over on Twitch, shout out to you. A little bit of a different setup today, so I haven't had a ton of time to interact with you guys over there today. But let's go over to Stripe and let's generate let's do a quick fire sale. All right, let's pull this up. coupon. All right, create a coupon. So if you guys are interested in trying out BridgeSpace, this is just going to be a day 182 coupon, and this is going to be a fixed percentage off. We're going to do 65% off, and this is going to apply to Ultra, Basic, and Pro subscribers. So whatever you guys want to do, I do recommend the Pro subscription. And then this is going to be 65% off forever. So I don't do these very often anymore. Let's do day 182, and then this is just going to be limited to, we're going to limit this to only 3 customers. So if you guys are interested, this is going to go very fast. Just use day 182 in the chat when you subscribe, and you will get 65% off. 65% off. All right. All right, hold on here. All right, day 182. So 65% off. This is valid to 3 redemptions. You guys can see it right here, day 182. I'll drop it in the chat real quick. Day 182 for 65% off. All right. How do you handle disputes? Auto refund. I don't get a lot of disputes. Yeah, I don't get a whole lot of disputes. I did get 1 dispute recently, but I don't get them a lot. I don't know how to fix that error in Windsurf. Super Combo, what is that? Thank you, Mute the App. All right, so we are deploying out it's version 3.0.71 of BridgeSpace right now. We're shipping this out. Perfect. Let's go over here. That migration timestamp. Interesting. Okay. First time subbing, been watching a long time. Shout out to D3. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. He just said he subbed. Thank you, man. Appreciate it. Let's go. Camille said, thanks for the content, mate. Could you tell us about your dev experience? Do you have any? Thanks. Yeah. So I started doing software development when I was a teenager. When I was 17, I started coding in Python, made a couple games, and then I went to school for finance. And I was kind of showing my GitHub commits, but if I just go back to my GitHub, I mean, I think at the end of the day, like, you do learn from experience. So whether or not somebody has a bunch of like, oh, I went to CS, it doesn't really matter. I've seen CS majors that have like 3 commits. But this was 2023, 2024, 2025, and then 2026 so far. So I have on GitHub like 10,000 commits at this point, or whatever that is. And I've been, coding daily for 3.5 years, 4 years. So that's going to be the most experience that you get. It's like my last startup was an online therapy platform. I had to code 2 million lines of code in 6 months to get that startup launched. And that was actually pretty difficult. I worked with a couple senior engineers that helped mentor me and worked alongside me, and I learned a lot from them. So that was definitely where most of my experience came from. Okay, this is now deployed. Oh, it's not installed locally, so I couldn't query. Okay. All right, we'll check this out. So this is the latest version, 3.0.71. It's getting pushed out right now. Frontend Coder said, what's up? Where are you? I am currently in an Airbnb. Just need to get out of the house, and I'll be back here soon to my main setup. But it feels good to get out. I literally, if you guys saw my video from this morning, I was coding literally in the middle of the woods with local models with no internet connection. It was actually kind of cool. Make sure you guys go check out my channel and check out that video, because that was a good one. But I mean, at the end of the day, like these local models, like I'll show you guys a couple tests here. Like here, I'll test out local models for you guys right now, just so you see what they look like. While BridgeSpace 3.0.71 is deploying, I'll show this to you guys. Hold on, let's just actually launch this without agents. So if you guys are interested in local models, let's just make a new directory called local, and then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cd into this local directory, and then let's launch OpenCode. And by far, Qwen 3.635b is the best model that I have tested. So let's just give this that one first-person shooter prompt. I want you to create a single HTML file that is a first-person shooter game where I'm able to navigate a map with an RPG and an AR-15 and eliminate enemies. There should be waves of enemies. Create the HTML file and then give me the file to open in a browser on my machine. So watch this. It is very, very fast, okay? And I could even launch like Gemma 431B. I did this in the video this morning, but for the sake of memory usage on my machine, you guys should know, like, I mean, look at this. Like, my machine is 128 gigabytes. I'm at 79 right now, and Qwen 3.6 is taking up 30 gigabytes of unified memory right now. And as it works, as that context grows larger, it'll take up a lot more memory. I think when I was testing this earlier, it was literally running like, it was running maybe 48 gigs or something like that, 46 gigs. Super Combo said, it's the future portable BridgeMind setup. Google Project Valerie. What is that? How do you know that the code is secure if you let the agents do all the work? So you actually can integrate very good security practices using agents. You just have to know what to ask the agent for. Like, for example, there's a lot of times where it's like, yeah, if you don't know security, if you don't know what you're doing, I mean, it's very easy to open yourself up to security vulnerabilities. But, you know, if you do have, like, agents, if you know what to ask for, if you know what to prompt with, the agents are pretty good at being able to identify security vulnerabilities. I mean, you can launch 100 sub-agents to identify security vulnerabilities in your project. What is up with Qwen 3.6 right now? It's literally taking a long time to, what is it even doing? It's just still thinking? That's a while. Did you invest your own money to get the MacBook? I mean, yeah, look at this. Like, I mean, the money that I'm investing is just from the business, right? In the last 3 months, net volume is $46,000. So a $5,000 investment into a super nice computer that I can now take on the go with me is not that much. So I just use the business credit card for it. It's a business write-off. Code and app, no mistakes, yeah. Google Project Valerie, I've been wanting one of them for years. Super Combo, I wish I could open that up right now, but because of the setup that I'm on, it's just a little bit different. I'm like, I have chat pulled up on my phone right now. This is the current setup. I definitely like being back in my office more just for streaming purposes. But look at this, guys. Like, this is literally still thinking. What is up with this? Okay, there we go. Okay, so it just outputted all the HTML at once. You guys see this? So it outputted 500 and, so look at that, 621 lines. It says that the code has some issues. So how long was that? 18,000 tokens. Is there a way for us to see how long it took for us to get that output? Thought for 1 minute and 30 seconds. So 1 minute and 30 seconds to generate 621 lines of HTML. That's actually pretty good. Now we'll see what it looks like, because I don't think that Qwen 3.6, like, it isn't amazing, but you look at it and it's like, this is as good as GPT. DSAT Drew, what's up, man? He said Project Valerie was the Razer experimental laptop with the 3 displays. Oh, okay, gotcha. What is my opinion about Hermes agents? I think they're great. I have 5 of them. So I made this money off BridgeMind or something else. I made the money off of BridgeMind. So if you look at my Stripe dashboard, I'm very, very open about this. I am incredibly transparent. That's just my ultimate goal. I want to protect the integrity of the mission. So I show this every single stream. This is the Stripe dashboard. You guys can see that this was the launch of BridgeSpace 2. This was the launch of BridgeSpace 3. And we went up to 15,992. And you know, right now we're actually staying very steady at 15,364 in MRR. The previous 3-month period, the MRR was at 1,529. So, you know, we're doing very well in the grand scheme of things. But for 3 months, I mean, 3 months, 46,000 in net. Like, that's not bad. So we'll continue working. We'll continue pushing forward. But I just try and be as transparent as I can be with the Stripe dashboard. But this is all the money that I'm making from Stripe subscriptions, and the ARR that you see in the title is only from Stripe subscriptions from my Stripe account, okay? All right, let's go over here back to BridgeSpace. It said that the code has some issues, and then it's like, what I don't like about this is that I can't see it as it works. I guess that's just an OpenCode thing. Why 5 Hermes agents? I have a pretty big company, so each Hermes agent has essentially like a different persona. It has access to a different email. Now, you could use sub-agents for that. I personally don't. All right, let's do this. Do you have GPT Plus or Pro? I have GPT Pro. Yeah, I have ChatGPT Pro. All right, this one, I don't know why. I don't know when or why this one dropped. That's so weird. I didn't think that this dropped. I do want to update to the latest version here and make sure that we get that tested. All right, so he said, that's so dope. You're an inspiration. Trying to scale my apps, so I do this full time. About to graduate college at 3K MRR with my apps right now. Dude, that is so good. 3K MRR, that's a lot better than I, like, 3K MRR, I didn't start, like, the indie hacking, like, app grind until I started this series. Before that, like, my last company, like, it was a little bit, it wasn't as, like, it wasn't bootstrapped, if that makes sense. Like, my last company, oh my gosh, 1,000 lines of HTML? Whoa! Qwen 3.6, 35B just outputted 1,000 lines of HTML. Wait, but what is this? It says, whoa, I'm actually very interested to see what this outputs. 1,099 lines of HTML from Qwen 3.6 in actually a relatively short amount of time. If we go up to the top here, how long did this think for? Wow, that's a lot of HTML, guys. 1,000 lines of HTML from a local model? I definitely want to test this out. We'll see what it looks like here in a second. Yeah, BridgeMind's profiting a lot. I think that, like, the perspective that I have right now is that, like, you know, once you get to that point where your business is making money and it is profitable, for example, like, I would rather spend money to invest back into the business and, you know, with the ultimate goal of, hey, I'm going to get to 1 million. Like, when you put it into that perspective, like, I think that if you don't take risks in life, you're not going to get very far. Some people are more prone to risk. Some people are less prone to risk. I would say that I definitely am more prone to risk than most people. I like to take risks. I have no problem making investments and, you know, kind of like, you know, I dropped out of college, right? Like, I dropped out of college. I am somebody that when I do something, I go all in on it. And I think that's a very good habit to build. Now, you don't want to do something that's, like, stupid that ends up hurting you long term, but I do think that it's good to take risks. All right. Do you spend on ads? No, I don't. Yeah, I don't like to spend on ads. Like, the way that I spend on ads is, like, look at this. So, like, even, like, for this, for example, I mean, we'll do it right now. Like, I think that the best way to be able to, like, sponsor and market your product is through stuff like this. Like, just add value to a niche, right? Like, just go through the process of adding value to the niche. You know, I make videos, I, you know, post content, and I don't like making content. I think a lot of people know that. Like, I'm not a big fan of, like, I don't want to be a content creator. That's why I do live streams, and most of my content, it's just very raw and organic. I don't like being fake. I just like to be genuine, and I like to be myself. That's why I do the live streaming. Because I wouldn't like it if I was just, like, some fake content creator that was, like, just hyping up every single model that came out, which a lot of them do. No shade on them. A lot of them, hey, they got to make their living. But I have this habit of going all in on ideas, but I've crashed every time. Well, dude, you've got like, you have to fail in order to succeed. My first startup, it did not end well. It did not end well. So you're not in it alone. Can you put a tutorial on YouTube on how you do vibe coding in your apps and setup? 100%. Yeah. Okay. What is this trying to do? It's trying to start like I guess just to start an HTTP server. Okay. Does this Mac have 128 gigabytes of VRAM? Yeah, it does. So if we look at this right now, we have Qwen 3.6, and look at this. So 30.95 gigabytes from Ollama right now. Oops, hold on. I just clicked on. Oh, sorry, guys. Hold on. You guys can see it was using 30 gigabytes to run. Wait, what did I just do? Did I just... Oh, I just sorted it from descending. Okay. Okay, look at this. So Ollama is running 30.95. I've got 128 gigabytes of VRAM. 81 is currently being used, but I'm literally streaming from this laptop right now. I'm running a bunch of terminals. It works very, very well. I'm very happy about it. What is better, Cursor or Claude Code or Codex? I would say that Claude Code is the one that I go to the most. The one that you're going to get your most bang for your buck is Codex. Claude Code is going to be the best across the board. Cursor is most expensive, but it does give you the flexibility to change models. Okay. This is, yeah, I mean, this is a little bit inconsistent in my opinion. I don't like the fact that I'm just, like, waiting for this to come back. I don't like that. Also, hold on. Let me check real quick. Let's do a quick check of where this deployment is actually at. Give me 1 second here, guys. Let's do this. Wow. GitHub. All right, let's just check up where this workflow. We're about to get an update for BridgeSpace. We're pushing it out right now, an update. All right, check this out. So here is our repositories. Here is BridgeSpace. We pushed this update only 12 minutes ago, and it did fail to push. Let's see this here. All right, I don't like this. Hold on. All right, new computers are tough, guys. Hold on. Check out this GitHub action workflow and note that this failed to deploy. Figure out why. All right, that GitHub action workflow did fail. Okay. Have you tried DeepSeek V4 with Claude Code? DeepSeek V4 is not a great model. Now, DeepSeek V4, a lot of people are talking about it, mostly because... Here, let's talk about this a little bit, because a lot of people are talking about it. I think it's fair to, while we have this update deploying, I think it's fair to talk about it. So a lot of people are talking about DeepSeek V4 because if you guys didn't know, they made their discount permanent. So when DeepSeek V4 initially came out, the input, look at this, it was 1 cent, it was one and a half cents. All right, let's just look at this. Input was $1.74, output was $3.84, okay, per million. And what they did is they discounted it by 75%. And then what they did is they said, okay, now our discount's permanent. Okay, so a lot of people are now talking about DeepSeek. I'll probably do a review video on DeepSeek here soon because a lot more people are talking about it. But like, even if we go over here to BridgeBench, I do want to show this to you guys because, hey, I did put this in BridgeBench and there is nothing about this model other than the price that is attractive. And I don't think that that's necessarily a good thing. Look at this. You have DeepSeek V4, DeepSeek V4 Flash. It's all the way down here at 21 and 22 on security. Where is it? Let's find it. DeepSeek V4, number 16. It's worse than Kimi K 2.6. Refactoring. Where is it on refactoring? This is a benchmark that basically tests its abilities to be able to rewrite code. Oh, I guess this one actually does pretty good on refactoring. Do you guys see this? It does pretty good on refactoring here. Number 4. I actually didn't see that. Speed, it's middle of the pack, but it is faster than GPT 5.5 and Claude Opus 4.7. On UI, though, hold on, let's see the UI. I feel like it failed on a lot of the UI tests. Like Flappy Bird, I think it just failed. Like I don't think it was able to produce this properly. I think it failed. And this is, I think, what you'll see a lot. Like, here's the UI that's being produced by DeepSeek V4. Here's the thunderstorm over the city. This is supposed to be water, by the way. All right, Super Combo said, DeepSeek is so bad, but I don't know. That price is insane for people that spam random stuff and use millions of tokens. Yeah. Here's the lava lamp test. Not great. The neon sign flickering. No sign. So, like, I think that, like, you just have to know that, hey, yeah, you can go use the model, and the model is cheap, okay? And I remember when I was in business school, somebody said, they said, don't use the word cheap, because that cheap isn't good. The word cheap is not good. It means that it's, like, kind of crappy, you know? Kerr said, what does it use for the security check? Like, what does the benchmark do for the security check? Let's see how it does. It does 16. 16. So if we go to the security check, so sanitization 97.9, auth and session 67.5, traffic protection 95.6, access control 94.6, detection and analysis 72.6, and then crypto utils 52.9. So Temu lava lamp, yeah. All right, let's see what happened here. All right, it looks like it's recommitting here. All right. All right. Also, guys, let's hit another set of bench. If you guys are watching, haven't already liked the stream, make sure you do so. We've got 462 people watching, 394 likes. I work pretty hard, guys, on the streams and stuff. So you guys haven't already liked, just make sure you do so. If you guys show up, and it's easier for you guys, and for me, it's basically my entire life. So appreciate it. Not my entire life, but what I spend most of my time doing. All right, let's go over here. All right, this is still not... Hold on here. Okay, this is, yeah, Qwen 3.6, having a little bit of a hard time running this. Hold on, let's just test this in, I feel like a better way to test this is in Open Web UI. I think this gives us a better look. So Qwen 3.6 right here, you guys can see it. Thank you, Floyd, for liking. I appreciate that. Check this out. So we can just say, I want you to build a single HTML file of a first-person shooter game. It should be a very complex, good graphic game. Give me an AR-15 and an RPG, and I should be able to navigate the map and defeat enemies, and the enemies should come at me in waves. I like Open Web UI. Sometimes with OpenCode, it can just be a little bit finicky. Doesn't DeepSeek just train their models off Claude and GPT prompting, therefore they can undercut? Yeah, so that's called model distillation. Oh, I guess, hold up. I just accidentally used the wrong model. Hold up. I guess this one's loaded on the GPU as well. Okay, so this is the 27 billion parameter model. So I did just submit the prompt in here. So technically, like on artificial analysis, this model is better than the 35 billion parameter model. The 35 billion parameter model, it's this on the benchmark, this is the A3B, which just means that it uses 3 billion active parameters. That's why even though it's a larger model, it scores worse on this benchmark. You can see it gets 35.2, whereas the 27 billion parameter model is 36.5. So this model, the 27 billion parameter model, is much slower. If you guys see this here, 56 lines of code. Like, I'm pretty sure I tested it this morning. It ran at 25 tokens per second, which is pretty slow. Would I make a game in the future? Potentially. Yeah, Open Web UI is an open source repo. I don't know if it's anything personal, but do you have anything planned for when you reach the $1 million goal? I don't necessarily have anything planned. It feels like, I mean, I want to hit it before the end of the year. I think that it's possible. It's just that, like, we're going to have to, like, I think that part about being in the arena and being the guy that's just, like, showing up every day is that you need to know that, like, when you're in the arena, ideas will come to you. So, for example, like, when I first started the journey, I didn't know, oh, in 6 months, I'm going to build an agent development environment, and that's going to be a big hit, and it's going to, you know, send us to, you know, 185K in ARR. I didn't know that, right? But it kind of just happened because I showed up every day and I gave it everything I had, and that idea, that opportunity presented it to me, right? It got presented, and I was like, oh, sweet. I don't know what's going to happen in the next 6 months, but what I do know is I do know that more opportunities are going to be presented as long as you stay in the arena. What will you use the Mac for after the tests? Well, honestly, like, the biggest reason that I did get the M5 Max was because it now does enable me to stream from anywhere. And also, it is good to be able to test local models, because local models, they are getting better. I think that people should know about the local models. And what this enables me to do is I'm literally testing a local model right in front of you guys right now. This is Qwen 3.6 27B, and this is on the best AI chip. I do think that this is better than the NVIDIA DGX Spark. I literally have one right here. Hold on. I have 2 DGX Sparks. I am going to have a review video here soon where I test the DGX Spark and put it against the M5 Max, which you guys are seeing right now. But, like, with the DGX Spark, from what I've experienced in the initial test that I did before I left to get out into the country a little bit, the M5 Max was able to outperform the DGX Spark. Now, that was just from my initial tests. I'm going to do an official review video on it later this week. You guys will get to see the official test. But I will say this M5 Max was outperforming the DGX Spark significantly. Like, it actually wasn't really close. So I'm going to do a more thorough review, but just from my initial test, when I tested it before I left, it was, like, pretty substantial. Super Combo said that's quantized, though, not full size, right? Wait, what? This is full size. This 27B, this is full size. This is the MLX version. So this one is optimized to run on Apple Silicon, and it is relatively fast. The 35 billion parameter model does run a lot faster, but you guys can see it's like, hey, we've generated 369 lines of HTML. We'll see the output speeds here in a second. I feel like it's running at like 25 to 30 tokens per second right now. If you guys look at Activity Monitor, you can see, so it's this right here. Hold on. It's taking up 18.79. So, you know, I've got plenty of space. I've got 30 gigs left on the GPU. But look at this. I mean, you got 18 gigabytes, and then the 35 billion parameter is 30 gigabytes. So that 27 billion parameter model, if you guys have, you know, a smaller machine and you want to test this out, I mean, that's not bad. We're now at 437 lines of code. You need to test concurrency, 50 sub-agents, M5 Max versus DGX Sparks. Okay, I will. Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure that the DGX Spark was not... wait, I'm sure about what? This is full size. Not all LLM code is trash, but these local models sure are. Yeah, I mean, let's just see what it creates. Why are you in a gym and not your house? Did you lose your home? I did not lose my home. No, this is an Airbnb. Did I lose my home? That is a crazy comment. That's funny. I'm actually living out of this gym right now, guys. Nah, this is a cool place to stream, though. I'm planning to buy a Mac system. What would you suggest, MacBook Pro or Mac Studio? It really depends on what your goals are. Like the main reason that I got the M5 Max was not because of I wanted to solely test local models. That was definitely a selling point for me, was that I would be able to run local models. But the biggest reason that I got the M5 Max was because, hey, now I can stream from wherever. So like, hey, just for me, like long term, I know that there's other people that are doing like the build in publics right now, but in terms of just like length, I think that there's a lot of people that do the build in publics and then they quit after like 100 days. I mean, after 100 days, I had only made like $2,000, and I kept pushing and I kept working. And just so you guys know, like, you know, I'm in this for a long run. I'm not going to be one of those people that just like disappears. I'm not going to give up on this community. I'm not going to let you guys down. We're going to keep showing up, and we're going to make progress, and we're going to make $1 million. And, you know, we're going to do it together. And whatever you guys are working on, just know that, like, hey, I know that there's literally 496 people in the stream right now because everybody is grinding. Like, if you guys want to work forward, if you guys want to be a part of a community of people that are building and actually making progress and are on the cutting edge of AI, make sure you join the BridgeMind Discord community, because there is no community that is larger than this community when it comes down to being on the front lines of AI and vibe coding. There are a ton of people in this community that are working on projects, that are building out their dreams, and we're all in it together. And that's the thing, is it's like, you know, I just want to share my journey organically with you guys, and we're in it together. Like right now, I mean, we can look at the Stripe dashboard again. It's like, I mean, the Stripe dashboard, if we go over here, you know, I'm looking at this, I'm like, okay, 15,438 in MRR. Look at this, you know, if we look at the 3 months, big picture, yes, we're going up. Like 3 months ago, the MRR was at 300, or I guess that was 6 months ago. 3 months ago, the MRR was at 1,529, okay? So grand scheme of things, 3 months later, we're at 15,438. In 3 months, we've done 53,000 in gross volume. You know, we've made a ton of progress, and like, that's what it's all about, is just consistency is the key, showing up every single day, and we're just gonna continue to make this happen. I definitely believe you will hit 1 mil. You have what it takes. Thank you, man, I appreciate that. Let's get to it. Oh, look who it is. Wisio AI Studios. Let's go, man. What's up? TTFG. What's up? Thank you, man. How many active subscriptions? We currently have 552 active subscriptions. You can see here it's increased 656% over the last 3 months. So, you know, great overall, like, I think that things are going up. It's just that, like, I think right now the AI space is very slow. The AI space is very slow. There's not a bunch of new models. And, you know, that does affect things, right? Like there's less hype in the space. I think that the AI models did stagnate a little bit with this last release where, hey, for example, like GPT 5.4 to GPT 5.5, I don't think that it was that big of a difference. Like Opus 4.6 to Opus 4.7, I think that you could even make the standpoint. I mean, there's a lot of people that are still using Opus 4.6 because Opus 4.7 literally was just like not good, right? And people are like, I can't use it. So that's the thing, is like, you know, I think that the next models that are going to come are going to be big, and we're going to see more people start vibe coding. You know, there are so many less people now that are like, call me an idiot for vibe coding. than there were when I first started, and that's just going to continue. Like, even in today's stream, there's been a couple people that say, like, learn to code, right? And, like, I get it all the time, and it's like people that aren't necessarily haters, but they just don't understand where this technology is headed. Like, they don't understand that, like, you don't need to code anymore, and they don't understand that, like, think about 5 years down the line, the people that can really use AI agents and the people that understand the space, those are going to be the most successful people. Those are going to be the people that really succeed. Like, those are going to be the people that are getting all the jobs. Like, when you sit down for an interview, the first thing that people are going to ask you is, how good are you at using AI? Like, that is going to be the leading skill in the future. And I've been saying it. I'm going to continue to say it. I saw it 3.5 years ago when we first got ChatGPT. I remember being on the phone with my brother saying, dude, this is going to change everything. You're going to be able to literally, like, create software without writing any code. And my brother is like, all right, whatever. But 3.5 years later, look at this. You know, look at what we've done. And that's why I'm so passionate about this, is because I'm passionate about vibe coding. It's completely changed my life. My life would not be, if AI never was a thing and vibe coding was never a thing, my life would be completely different. You trust this model with security right now? Right now, we're actually testing Qwen 3.6 27B. This is a local open source model, and we're just testing this out on a M5 Max. This is a local model. This is a Frontier local model that we're testing out on a Frontier machine to be able to run AI models locally. And you guys can see we're at 1,234 lines of HTML. It's outputting relatively quickly here. What do you think about OpenAI Symphony? Is BridgeMind better? If yes, why? I don't even know what OpenAI Symphony is, to be honest with you. You're getting around 25 tokens per second on M5 Max currently on Qwen 3.7 27B. Yes, I think that this is, we'll see. We can see once it finishes outputting, we'll actually be able to see how fast it's outputting tokens. But I do believe that this runs around 25 tokens per second. The 35 billion parameter model runs much, much faster. All right, let's go over to this here. Let's check if the latest update has been deployed or if it's got stalled out. This is still running. It's at 1,300 lines. That's insane. Let me check GitHub real quick and see if this is deployed. Okay, this does look good. So this is what we're watching right now. We do have a bridge space update. This is version 3.0.71. It's currently building on Mac OS, Windows, and Linux, and an update is about to deploy for everybody that's using bridge space. We are about to get an update. Let's go back over to this. So right now we're just testing out some models as we wait for this update to deploy. I mean, I can even make a post right here on. So watch this. I mean, all right, let's record video. Let's go, guys. We're almost at 500 likes. We're only 52 likes away. Let's go. All right, so I'm recording the screen real quick because I do want to make a post on X real quick. I just want to make it 30 seconds. I mean, it's outputting relatively quickly. All right, 30-second video just for X. I'm going to make a post on X about this. What's the best prompt for landing pages in UI to make it look less AI and more unique? There's a lot. There's, like, for example, the front-end taste skill has now 20,000 stars on GitHub. We actually did download this during the stream today. We'll test it out on stream. This is the taste skill. Eper said, I'm making a landing page right now, and I'm impressed with the taste skill. Let's test it out, guys. Wow, I'm very surprised at how big this HTML file is. I'm very interested to see what we end up getting here, because this is at 1,600 lines here. That's insane. I did not expect it to output that much. All right, let's go back over to BridgeSpace real quick, and let's go over here. And I do want to test. Hold on, let's go here. All right, Claude. All right, hold on. What did I choose? Rust over Electron. Rust is so much more performant, dude. Electron, you're going to have issues with performance. Okay, let's ask real quick. Do you have the front-end taste skill installed? Go check. I'm pretty sure we have it. All right, let's see this here. All right, hold on. Okay, wow, okay, this is done now, guys. So look at this. This is tactical FPS. This is what this just created. First of all, let's see how fast this was able to output tokens. So if we go here, it was outputting tokens, yep, exactly, like 25 tokens per second. So 25.38 tokens per second is what it was outputting. It just created a 1,700 line HTML file, and this is the game that it created. Let's check it out, guys. Whoa. Hold on, guys. Whoa, this is like... Okay, hold on. We need to test this in like an actual browser. Hold on. How can I just copy this? Hold on. This actually looks like pretty good, guys. For an open source model. All right, let's copy this and let's go to an HTML renderer. All right, let's go to HTML renderer. All right, check this out, guys. All right, so here's what we have. All right, tactical FPS. All right, let's check this out. Oh my gosh, save. Okay. All right, here it is. Wait, hold on. I just messed this up. All right, sorry guys. All right, deploy to battlefield. All right, wave one. All right, one thing I will say is the controls are a little bit weird. Like I can't really walk very well. Like I can literally only, so this is an interesting bug. I can only walk like, I can't walk. Like I'm clicking A and D and I can't walk side to side. I can literally only walk in a straight line here. That's why you guys are seeing me do this. Wave one cleared. Hold on, how do I switch to the RPG? Okay, here's the RPG. Wave two, and this was done by a local model. This was done by Qwen. 27B RPG. I can't shoot the RPG. So yeah, so I think that like with local models, I'm very impressed. Oh whoa, just get a huge lag spike. I don't know if the stream is glitching out, but hold on, just got a huge lag spike. So I wasn't able to actually shoot this. I wasn't able to shoot the RPG. I was only able to walk like basically up and down. I did not like that, but ultimately the UI actually does look decent. It's just that, like, hey, at the end of the day, this model is only as good as GPT-5. And GPT-5 wasn't that good compared to models that we have today. What do you guys think? It did output tokens at 25 tokens per second, though, which is pretty good. Okay, it says that we don't have a front-end taste skill. Let's test out the front-end taste skill. Hold on. This is still deploying, so we're at 19 minutes in. One of the macOS builds is complete, so this should deploy here in a minute. Okay, let's go over here. All right, front-end taste skill. All right, I'm gonna download this real quick. All right, so it's this right here. Thank you, Mute the App. Just dropped it in the chat. The gun model looks really good. You think so? I mean, for a 27 billion parameter model, it's just that, like, yeah, that's definitely not there yet. This is the one that I'm talking about. I need you to get this installed and set up so that we can use this. All right, guys, let's bust out. This is gonna download real quick. We do have an update deploying. Let's bust out some more. Let's hit some more Bench press. Let's go. All right, let's go, let's go, let's go. All right. Taste skill. Still installing. Give it a second here. Is it worth installing skills for cursor? 100%. Skills are like one of the best things that you can do to really, really help you improve your coding agent. Okay, this is installed. Emotional support wolves, yeah. Titan's pretty cool. He's good. All right. Jake, what's up? Is this substantial proof that local models are way more capable and actually useful? I'd rather have a weaker, locally run model with unlimited use. Well, no. I don't think that you can even compare local models with frontier models. Sorry guys, the camera's shaking, I'm bumping stuff. All right, so I did just install the front-end design skill. So I haven't used this before. So this is the front-end taste skill. If you guys have heard of this, this is actually like performing very, very well on GitHub right now. It has like a ton of, hold on, let me give it a second here. Hold on, not that. Sorry. All right, so this is doing really well on GitHub right now. So check this out. So taste skill, the GPT taste. Okay, great work. I now, hold on guys. Let's go over to this project real quick. All right, we'll launch Claude in here. I want you to use the front-end taste skill and launch 10 subagents and do a thorough review of the front-end UI and identify, using this taste skill, how you can improve the design of the front-end website based off of what we currently have using this skill. Launch 10 deep dive subagents and create a structured plan for improvements to the design and the styling of the entirety of the website. All right. And I'm gonna do like the same thing with this one. Hold on, I do wanna update something real quick. I want you to launch 5 deep dive agents and do an in-depth review of the copy and paste functionality, specifically the copying functionality when trying to copy texts in the Xterm terminals. Note that it seems a little bit inconsistent when trying to copy things. For example, sometimes I'll attempt to copy something and it doesn't even copy it. This is a bug. Note that we shouldn't be copying ASCII or other elements that don't need to be copied we should basically just be copying text in the terminals. I need you to do a deep dive with 5 deep dive sub-agents and identify exactly what the bug that I'm referring to is, because sometimes, for example, I'll do command copy and then I'll try and paste and it won't even have copied anything. Review exactly what is causing this in the terminals inside of BridgeSpace and output a structured plan for your fixes, as well as a 1 to 2 sentence summary of what is causing this bug. All right. What do you think are the musts to learn to practice before vibe coding? So one big thing is just being able to problem solving is going to be your biggest thing. Even you can learn a lot, and it is very, very important to learn. The best principles that you can learn is just architecture. So understanding how databases interact with APIs, which interact with front ends, how to be able to call an API from a front end, what frameworks you should be using, how to host a website, how to host a backend, how to host a database. But the biggest things is hey, you can have AI set up your database in your architecture for you in an AWS or in a VPS. If you just give it an API key, it can actually do it for you very well. You just need to understand that architecture. What is vibe coding? Vibe coding is basically where you're able to build products without actually writing the code yourself. I currently have all the best front-end skills installed, but GPT-5 still struggles to get a good front-end. Yeah, it's not very good at front-end. I use Claude for front-end. Definitely the best. I want you to use the front-end taste skill and launch 10 deep dive agents to do an in-depth review of the BridgeBench UI and identify improvements that you can make to the UI using this taste skill during your review, and create a structured plan for improvements that you can make to the front-end design using the taste skill. Okay, so somebody said, who is this noob? I don't know, dude. I don't know. I made this. Here's my stripe. How's Big T doing? Is he chilling? All right. All right. This is not a new studio. I'm just in an Airbnb right now. Cliff Rachel said, I am glad you are investigating the copy paste issue. I have been seeing that in Windows. Yeah, I kept getting that. It's just a little bit funky. I try and copy something and sometimes it can have a little bit of a, sometimes it won't copy it every time. So it's just a little bit weird. Ibrahim, what's up? Also, if you guys are watching and have not already joined the BridgeMind Discord community, make sure you do so. There's a link in the description as well as in the pinned chat. And just make sure you join. We've got over 10,590 builders, now over 10,600 builders in this community. And it's the leading vibe coding community on the internet. So if you guys are interested in vibe coding, make sure you join. And we do have a project sharing event tomorrow in the Discord. The winner of this event is going to get $100 in Bitcoin. 6 members of the community will be able to get to share their projects, and then we'll vote for a winner tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if you guys haven't already joined the Discord, make sure you do that. There's a link just got pasted in the chat, so make sure you go check it out. All right, somebody said, can I ask about your client acquisition process? How do you find clients? I market myself on social media, so X. I market myself on YouTube. I market myself. I don't do any paid ads. I think that paid ads can sometimes just be a complete dumpster fire for money. Okay, Mac OS relies on web view. Okay. All right, so this is that all 5 subagents did agree on what the root cause is here. Okay, great work. I now need you to create a structured implementation plan with your fixes. Plan mode, let's go. How will you select which 6 projects that you will show tomorrow? I just go based off of people that I see in the Discord community. So if you're active in the community, I recognize that, and I kind of get a familiarity for people that are, active members of the community, and I usually give them an opportunity to present and stuff. Okay, Sizek just said that he posted a bug report, so let's go check it out. All right. Hold on. Okay, Bridge Voice support. So we do have a bug here. Bridge Voice does not use the current message when transcribing. Okay, we definitely need to fix this. I am going to paste this into GPT 5.5. I need you to launch 5 deep dive agents and do a thorough review of this bug report and identify the smoking gun of what is causing this on Windows in Bridge Voice. Do an in-depth review with deep dive agents and come back to me with a 1 to 2 sentence summary of the smoking gun and what is causing this issue, and then create a structured plan to fix this bug. All right. How many active users does BridgeSpace have? I'll show you the Stripe so you can see for yourself. It has 552 active subscribers. All right. All right, surgical fix, perfect. Where am I? I'm in an Airbnb right now. Got Big T with me. He's chilling. All right, guys, we are 8 likes away from 500 likes. If you guys haven't already liked the stream, subscribe to BridgeMind. Make sure you do so. I will be live tomorrow. We're going to have a project sharing event. It's going to be a good day. Currently got a couple agents working for us. I'm very interested to see the taste skill. Honestly, let's just use the taste skill on like a single HTML. I want you to use the taste skill and create a single HTML file of a rebuild of the BridgeMind website, just because I want to see the output from the taste skill. Create a modernized version of the BridgeMind website that is unique and well designed. Just use HTML for it though. All right, so it should be a single HTML file, and then give me the URL of the file to test it in my browser once you're finished. All right, this will be very interesting to see. There's our plan going in. All right, sweet. We just did hit 500 likes. Let's go. Big T is living that good life. Yeah, he's just hanging out. Yeah. How much have you made? So in the past 3 months, I'll just show you guys the Stripe dashboard. Might as well just show you the dashboard. Here's what it looks like. You guys can pause the stream and look at it. But current MRR is at 15,438. Gross volume for the past 3 months is 53,114. Okay, let's go over here. Oh, here's our update. So the BridgeSpace update is now live. This is version 3.0.71. Make sure you guys update if you haven't already. This is now available. You guys can see it here. It's ready to install. Just showed up. What is the difference between the front end skill and the taste skill in Claude? I actually don't know. So this is the first time that I'm using the taste skill. I've never used it before. I'm very interested to see. Okay. Implement now. All right, here's another plan. Boom, implement the plan. What have I done to trigger the spikes in sign-up sales or something? Basically, like, I think that the biggest thing is that right now, like, BridgeMind, the sales and the revenue growth is going to go hand in hand with, like, the hype in the AI space, if that makes sense. So, for example, hey, when we had Opus 4.7 and GPT 5.5 releasing, we had way more eyes on BridgeMind. So the revenue was just like, boom, skyrocketing, right? And that will happen again. We're just in like a little bit of a down period right now. So I think that once we do have more visibility in the space, I do think that we will get a lot of organic sales, just because BridgeMind at this point is the largest vibe coding community and has a very authoritative position in the vibe coding space. So once the vibe coding space gets a little bit more traction, I think that we'll see some pretty good numbers in growth. Can you show your products? You're actually looking at them right now. So this is BridgeSpace, and Bridge Voice is the voice-to-text tool that I've been using as well. But with BridgeSpace, I'll show you a little bit of a rundown. So you have your workspaces over here on the left. So right now, I have a bunch of different workspaces that are working on different things. I do have an in-app browser. So for example, if you are developing locally, or if you just need to go to a website, or if you want to watch YouTube Shorts, just kidding, you can do that here. Also, we have an in-app file editor. If you want to look at the code, we have the Bridge orchestration agent, and then we also have skills. We also have a memory system, a task-based system, and this all just helps you more efficiently vibe code. And I've built this after just having that 3.5 years of experience vibe coding. Hearing lots of rumors about Opus 4.8 and Sonnet 4.8. Yeah, we should have them soon. We should have them soon. Marie, so you just have to prompt well. So all of these, once you get your prompting and your context engineering down, you will be able to do a pretty good job. Hold on, let's see this one here. Okay, I now need you to launch a swarm of 15 subagents and assist me in updating the website accordingly using the taste skill, respectively. All right, I definitely want to update BridgeSpace and make sure that everything is good. What's your system resource? Well, we are running local models. So the things that are using the most is this right here. So with all this running, you guys can see that it's literally only running 1.1 gigs. Yeah, 1.18. And then the 30 gigs that's being used right here, this is actually Qwen 3.6 35B running. All right, let's go back over here. All right, restore dark. Fix the slop. The taste scale literally said, fix the slop. It's funny. All right. I'm going to use Bridge real quick. I want you to submit a follow-up prompt in this agent to launch 2 deep dive agents to polish up the work and make sure that no breaking changes are implemented with these updates. X is so slow today. What do you mean super common? Just like the news and stuff? I think it is pretty slow. I mean, like, this is how it works. Like, when there's no models, the space is a lot slower. So look at this. So this Bridge orchestration agent, if you guys saw that, I basically just dragged and dropped this terminal into the agent. It was able to read the entire context of the workspace, and it literally knows exactly what this agent was working on. It has the context of the code base, and it's able to write the prompt for you. So you guys can literally pause the stream and look at the prompt that it wrote. But with just me being able to tell the agent, hey, I want you to submit a follow-up prompt, it has a couple things. It literally has the context of the terminal, the context of what I asked it to do, and the context of the code base. And it's able to write these prompts in a more efficient way than I would be able to. I mean, look at this. It has a goal, it has context, it has key files, it has a terminal state, it has constraints, and then it has basically you're done when both reviewers have signed off that the change is safe and any edge case or regressions are documented or fixed. I mean, this is a much better way to vibe code than just, prompting, out of your, just randomly, right? And that's why we built it. Yeah, Supercomma said there's nothing. Yeah. Thank you, Wisio. Appreciate you. Also, shout out to Mute the App. I appreciate you as well. Mute the App is a great member of our community. Shout out to you, man. I appreciate it. You're super, super helpful. Share your playlist. Hold on one sec. That's right. Hold on, where is it? That's right here. Shout out to everybody watching over on Twitch. A little bit of a different setup today, so I don't have my double monitors and stuff. Not even double, triple monitors. Let's go over here. Yeah, so we are using the front-end design skill. I'm excited to see what this looks like. With this one here, implemented the Windows fix. Same thing with this one. Hung said, friendship ended with taste skill. Now we bond with Hallmark. Hung, you don't like the taste skill, do you? People are talking a lot about it. It's got like 20,000 stars on GitHub. I mean, that is insane, guys. Like, so look at this strategy that I'm using, and I'm using Bridge to be able to do this, but basically look at this. So I'll do something, right? Like I'll make an update, and then I'll just pass the entire, I can drag and drop the terminal into Bridge here, and then basically my strategy is I just say, hey, I want you to now launch 2 deep dive agents to be able to make sure that none of the changes that have been made in this like during this have introduced breaking changes, and it's able to give it a system prompt. And like to write a structured system prompt like this with context, a goal, a terminal state, constraints, when it's done is actually very helpful. It's gonna significantly improve the output. So that's just super helpful. Can you send a link to the skill? Yeah, let me, hold on. Here's the skill. Let me pass this in real quick. Here's the skill. If anyone wants to try this out, hold on, I'll just send it in the restream chat. Steve is Legend over on Twitch said Bridge Voice 2.2.49. Yeah, make sure you do update. Are you using the AirPods mic? I don't think so, no. A little bit of a different setup today. I mean, I could have not streamed today just because I am traveling, but I decided to. I mean, that's what's great about the M5 Max, so. I actually was the first one to recommend the taste skill to you. It's just Hallmark that produces more tasty UI recently. Wait, so, Hung, do you think it's better or worse, though? I mean, this one we're about to see. Here is the, here's the file. All right, here's the HTML file that it did just create. Let's check this out. Okay, so, and this is HTML, so it can't do as good of a job, in my opinion. Look at that, YouTube. I'm not a huge fan of that, to be honest with you. But that is just front-end UI. Like, that's just HTML. So you can't, like, get... I mean... What do you guys think? There's a ton of good front-end skills on GitHub. There are, yeah. So-so. I mean, I'm not super impressed with this taste skill, honestly. All right, this is about to be done. This one's going to be done here soon. Honestly, I do want to update this. We do have just a ton of agents that are running here. What is the new goal for BridgeMind? Is his mic glitching, or is that just me? Is the mic glitching, guys? Let me know. What is your recommendation setup for harness engineering in a repo? What do you mean harness engineering? BridgeMind new site looks better. It feels way less AI generated. The skill is so anti-slop when that looks like AI slop. Yeah, it did look like AI slop, yeah. All right, we got a bunch of sub-agents running right now on this agent. We're going to see. This here is, we're going to see if we can improve the Vibecademy UI. I'll show this to you guys. Okay, mic is good. Okay, a couple people are saying it's delayed, but sorry guys, just a little bit of a different setup today. It is very hard to stream from a completely different setup. Streaming is, you gotta make sure you have a good setup for it. All right, so this is what we're gonna see if we can update here. 306. This is the updated Vibecademy UI. I made it light theme. What state am I in today? What state is BridgeMind in tomorrow? I'm still in Indiana. All right. I mean, this looks okay. I don't know. I want to interrupt this one. Let's update. I want to update real quick. So this is BridgeSpace 3.0.71. I just want to make sure that everything's good. All right, perfect. All right, let me know what you guys think of 3.0.71. This is now live. Let's go into desktop, and let's see if we did fix that issue that we were having with some of the agents. Let's open up this one. And look at this. So now you are able to collapse this, which does look a lot better. Hey there, Bridge. I want you to launch 12 Claude Code agents in this workspace. Claude. Hold on. Let's hope that it... Hold on. I'm using the local... Hold on. I use local, so it said Quad Code. Let's try this again. Let's change this over to the cloud version in Bridge Voice. I was using local because local is faster, but cloud is going to be more accurate for the Bridge Voice. I need you to launch 12 Claude Code agents in this workspace. What browser do I use? I use Comet. Vibecademy actual website is perfect. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. I do need 3 displays, yeah. All right. So what's happening here? All right, so spawning agent panes. Here the Claude Code agents come in. They're dropping in. Nice. Thinking that, what did it do? Stall out here? What AI model am I using right now? I'm using Claude Code. But I use all of them, guys. I use all of them. All right, so this launched only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, it can only do 8 max. I forgot. It can only do 8 max. Hold on, it can only do 8 max. I forgot. Okay, great work. I now need you to prompt each of these agents with a different task in the BridgeMind API. I need you to prompt each agent to search for bugs or security vulnerabilities in different areas of the BridgeMind API. Give each agent their respective prompts. Have them just output findings. Do not have them update code. All right, so this is going to be a good test here. So we can remove this one, but check this out. So we'll see if it's able to prompt this, but this is going to have to prompt all 8 with system prompts that actually use, wow, look at that. So it did all of them. Nice. Okay, this looks a lot better. So this is what we updated in this latest version. So if you guys look at this, the tool calls do show, like, look at this. It now says tool calls, and they all have their own separate lines. Before that, there was like just a bug that we had. Also, when we were trying to do this all at the same time, it was like failing to do it. But now this is a lot better. So the goal for this one, search for bugs and security vulnerabilities in the database access and query code of the BridgeMind API, output findings only. This one is looking for security vulnerabilities in the API endpoints and route handlers. This one is searching for error handling and logging code. This one is doing input validation and data sanitization. So it actually did a perfect job here. That's great. Vibecademy site is nice, but invoice download still doesn't work. Yeah, we're going to push the Vibecademy launch out a little bit. Super Combo said even Gemini. I'm pretty sure that this does launch Gemini. I changed it to, I need you to launch 2 anti-gravity agents. Let's see if this works. It should launch it. Let's see. So this should launch anti-gravity agents. This is new, though. Quad, let's go. Yeah. Quad Code. Okay, Hung said you got to invoke the skills directly for the best UI design or just via MPX plugins, add for efficiency. The founder of Taste Skills is just 16 years old after all. Wait until he has more experience. That's insane. Okay, look at this. So it says, can it not spawn more than 8 agent panes? Hold on, let's launch a new workspace here and see. Let's just go into desktop and then open without AI. And let's go over here. I want you to launch 3 anti-gravity agents. Let's see what this does. Anti-gravity is terrible, yeah. So are you also disappointed from taste skill, or am I just a hater? I didn't use it enough. I was not impressed with what I saw. But to Hung's point, like, hey, I didn't really invoke the skills like super well. Okay, one thing that we're gonna have to add support for is the anti-gravity agent. The reason that this is not launching is because I think it only has, hold on, we can even look this up. I think it only has support for, okay, hold on. Let's go over here, and then let's go to Bridge Space. Then let's launch Codex. Yes, yes. I need you to do an in-depth review of the Bridge Jarvis agent and identify what coding agents it's able to launch in a workspace at request. For example, I can launch Claude Code and I can launch Codex. What else? All right, let's test this. Yeah, so you do invoke with the Aggie command. But I'm just curious. I don't think that, so I have it built in with this. So if you go over here and you're in Bridge Space, right? And let's just say that I want to launch some of these anti-gravity agents. It does work here. Like, this does use that AGY command. Now, I don't actually have it downloaded on this machine because this is a new computer. But on my other computer at home, I do have it downloaded. And you guys can see that it does launch that AGY command. But with Bridge Space, I don't know, like with Bridge Jarvis, I don't know if we've integrated this yet. Sanchez, what's up? How's it going? Do you have a project showcase once a week? Yeah, typically we'll do them on Wednesdays. We do have a project showcase tomorrow. The one tomorrow is going to be a little bit special too, because we are going to, basically, you guys will get to present, and then we're going to vote for a winner, and the winner is going to get $100 in Bitcoin tomorrow. So this is going to be tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So literally this same time tomorrow, this event is going to be going on. It's at 1 p.m. tomorrow Eastern Standard Time. You guys can look it up. It's going to start tomorrow. We're going to vote for a winner. Winner's going to get $100 in Bitcoin. If you guys haven't already joined the BridgeMind Discord community, make sure you do so. That's going to be tomorrow. I'm super excited for it. But yeah, I mean, I feel like pretty good about the updates that we made. We're going to have to continue to make some improvements. Let's hope Gemini 3.5 Pro is better, because the Gemini 3.5 Flash is kind of trash. It only wins on speed. Yeah, 100%. I totally agree. Like, it's not that good. All right, so look at this. So now, like, all these findings come out, right? And I can now follow up with this agent. I think that that's incredible to be able to then, like, to grab my favorite feature that we integrated just recently is the ability to just then drag. I can literally grab one of these and watch this. I can drag this terminal and I can just go and paste it in the chat. And then this now has the context of that terminal. So watch this. I now need you to do a follow-up prompt on this agent, review the current status, and output a follow-up prompt. Still no code needs to be updated, but put it in plan mode and have it create a structured plan for fixes. So watch this. So we're going to submit this, and now it reads the terminal. Look at this. It literally just read the terminal, and it just submitted a follow-up prompt in the terminal with all of the context that it needed. So that's just a super useful feature. We built this and we've ironed it out today. It's much better in the latest update, but I'm very happy about that, guys. Okay, Quad said, I have a project I started last week I think would be really good to share, but not sure if it's appropriate for your stream. I'll DM you about it. Okay, sounds good. Just DM me. Also, guys, let's hit some more bench press. Let's go. If you guys haven't already liked and subscribed, make sure you do so. Let's get it. All right, let's go, let's go, let's go. Oh, shoot. Was the camera just black that whole time? Sorry, guys. I think that camera must be dead. Oops. Black screen. Sorry, guys. All right. All right, we are at a good stopping point. I did just push this update. I've got to go do a couple things here, but I am going to be back tomorrow. I'll be live again. If you guys didn't check out my latest video this morning, make sure you go check it out. Subscribe to BridgeMind. I'll be back tomorrow. Same place. Let's keep up the grind. Let's just keep it going, guys. We're at 185K ARR, and there's plenty of work to do, and we're just going to keep moving forward brick by brick by brick by brick. So with that being said, I will see you guys in the future.